folks and gentlemen, we're your hosts, Roy Gravis, Bucky Pender.
Hey.
Mike Wright's in the hot seat.
Hey.
I think they just expect me to be on.
Yeah,
here
at this point, you're no longer.
If I wasn't here, they'd be like, "Where the hell?
Yeah,
where's the other guy? There's a third person.
There's a third guy.
Yeah,
there's a third guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, at some point, we'll get a new producer. I.e., if somebody finishes grad school and moves to Texas,
I wouldn't mind him
out for that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
him neither. That's a good dude.
Oh man! All right, cool.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's Friday.
Yes.
it is Friday.
It's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
Season,
I'm right there with you. So your week was hectic, I know. I've talked to you like 3 different times this week.
So today's the first day that I finally have my voice back.
Yeah,
fully.
he was voiceless.
Oh,
So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
Voiceless.
I sounded a lot like this. So
Yeah,
I was
voiceless.
really nervous about this.
that
show.
would be funny if you still sounded like that.
I know. That's
I
what
would have sat
said.
here with like a dry erase board and just held it up. There's
yeah.
no way I
Did
would
you
have
do
done
that
to
at work
myself.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
No.
Okay.
I wish I would have.
You probably should have.
You know.
Yeah,
You probably should have.
I'm chalking it up to the fact that I talk too much.
it'd
and
probably be easier if you'd have just like put in the chat whatever you wanted to say. That would seem easier than erasing a dry
Oh, yeah,
erase
he does
board.
have a point. That would be kind of cool. And you're pretty quick with your thumbs, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I chalk it up to the fact that I talk too much, and I talked way too much at Whiskey Fest.
I think we all talked
Yeah.
too much at Whiskey Fest. I was a little hoarse Sunday
What's up,
morning.
Kev?
It's Kev. I hate that Kev in his Ohio. I'm so glad Ohio State didn't make the anything.
Anything?
None of it. I don't like Ohio State.
Why?
I just don't.
What do you have against the Buckeyes?
I think they're overrated every year.
I mean, at the end of the year, everybody's overrated
Well,
but
true.
one team.
Everybody's overrated. That's a good picture of you, Mike, and Dennis, by the way. That's on the Facebook page.
Yeah, we did a picture last year that was obviously
Yes.
there was no thought to it. It's just a post Whiskey Fest picture, and Catherine, Mike's wife, really she wanted to do the same thing.
I
So
like
think
it.
I do too.
I like
mean,
the fact that she does stuff like she's very creative.
Well-
I love her creativity.
and what people need to realize about that picture is if you'd have seen us at any time before that, we would not have smiles on our face.
Yes.
But that was one of the things I pointed out in my little post on that picture that I posted there, is that if you just look at Dennis and Mike's face, you just see that pure joy.
You
Like
do.
they look
Yes.
like little kids that just finished opening all their Christmas presents. I mean,
Yeah.
they truly look like they were by the end of the night they were happy with everything.
Yeah, I mean, at that moment too, like we're so worn out. I know
Williams is
Dennis's
big
feet
cheesing,
were
by the
killing
way.
him.
He big cheesing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, he's the best, man.
I like Dennis.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not gonna lie. Dennis is probably one of the few individuals on the planet that actually intimidate me a little bit.
Really?
Oh God, yes. We were doing.
I hear that from our employees.
We
all
were
the time.
doing our pre-show, and I kid you not, he looked over at me at one point and said, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble."
What I do?
We were talking about the poker chip thing that y'all had.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool. And then he's like, "Hey, you got an extra surge protector over it?" "Yes, sir. Anything you need. Here it is.
Yeah.
Take it all. I don't care." But yeah, he's probably one of the only people on the planet.
He's a no frills,
That
no
intimidate-
bullshit
that
type
that
guy.
intimidates me.
But incredibly thoughtful.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for
just,
sure.
Just
He's
a great.
super nice guy. He just, like I said, he intimidates the shit out of me.
Speak of the devil.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
Mike
Let's
Williams,
see
thank
Mike
you
in there.
for joining in.
What's up,
Big
Mike?
cheese and go Tigers from Chuck. I love Chuck and Mitzi. By the
Hey,
way.
what's going on,
Yeah.
Chuck and Missy?
They're like my new favorite
Yeah.
couple.
And
They're
Mike's
awesome.
hat in that picture, he got that night from those people.
Oh, did he?
there.
Oh, did he
Yeah,
really?
It looks
Okay.
good. That's
Yeah.
a sharp looking hat. Looking
Yeah,
at
that
that
was a good
picture.
looking hat.
That's a good looking hat.
Yeah.
It goes with his fancy boots
Yeah.
that I love so much.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you know this or not. One of our dear friends, Stephanie McGee, won a
Yes,
pair of
I
boots from
saw
Republic.
Oh,
Yes.
they get the his and her package, or
No,
No,
she got
she-
just hers.
I guess they had done like a raffle
Yes.
the night of Southeast
Really?
Texas or
Yeah,
something.
I was not
scanned
even-
you scanned a QR code,
Yeah.
put in your name, email, and it entered you in a drawing to
she
get
ended up
a
winning.
pair of boots. But the other thing about it is, so I know a guy. There was a shirt on there as well, a custom shirt from them.
yeah, probably from Blue.
Yes,
yeah.
it was Dwayne Champagne, who is a guy I used to know because he used to do work with Mobile Oil before they became Rave, which is retarded, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
neither here nor there.
You're right. He won the shirt, so I know
Nice.
both the people
that's awesome,
that
man.
won,
That's
that
pretty
won
cool.
the QR code thing with
But that was really cool that
with the Republic.
the vendors out there that were able to do that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there was a couple different ones. Like William Price was able to do
Right.
like a couple different bottles of like their liqueur, the coffee liqueur, or the rum, or something
Yeah.
like that. They were able to do little.
Didn't y'all get one of those?
Yeah, Dana won a coffee liqueur, and actually Sarah.
Yeah, I knew about Sarah's.
She won. I think it was a rum, if I'm not mistaken. So that was kind of.
I don't know.
Different vendors were doing different things.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of swag y'all collected out there, but I'll share a picture that y'all can put out on Facebook of
definitely.
a buddy of mine. He sent it to me last year after Whiskey Fest, and he sent me another one this year of his swag all laid out and nice. And I mean, it is.
Oh, I got some stuff.
The
It's
stuff
sick.
they bring is
This year, this year was my best year by far. Okay, so I walked out with a Chattanooga whiskey hat, a Yellowstone hat, a Bingham's hat, the Ghostwood hat that's on my head, a Texas Tail Distillery hat, which is over there on top of the air purifier, a Tullamore shirt, which I'm surprised fits because it's 2X. So I'm surprised it fits.
Yeah.
it's your sexy shirt.
Yes, it is. Brandy and I got matching ones, actually. She got one, too. So, yeah, it was my
I think
swag bag was.
Yeah, I'll have to count, but I think I have like 8 hats.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
we ended up with a few different shirts.
Yeah.
Like 2 I can't wear because they're smaller sizes, but Dana and whoever else can wear them. And but I got me a Penelope shirt. So I was excited
Jake
about
and
that.
them made out all right too. Yeah, Chuck won one of the William Price things as well.
See,
but he didn't see the text till he got home.
yeah.
Dang it!
Hey, what's going on, Big Chief? Glad you
Big
tuned in.
Chief in. That's awesome. See Jake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
So-
Chris is with Distillery Reviews.
Okay,
You can find them on Facebook and Instagram.
He's a
Type
good
in
dude. I
Distillery
talked to
Reviews.
him
They were out there
during the event. He's a good dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that
Yep,
was a ton of fun. It was nice to finally meet him because we had ran into him at Texas Whiskey Fest last year.
Yes.
But we were kind of doing our thing. They were kind of doing their thing. So we never really had a chance to stop and talk. But I saw him. I kept seeing him walk by. So finally, me and Chris had reached out and kind of talked to each other a little bit on Instagram, and we've got to talking a little bit. And it was good to finally meet him. And it's really cool to meet and talk to other people that are doing very similar things.
Yeah, they're doing what you're
Sure.
doing.
in
Yeah,
the whiskey world.
game recognized game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I
Big
didn't
Chief-
realize
Big
he
Chief
was
and I
out
had
there. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Big Chief and I had a really good conversation at Pour 09, by the way, at the after party.
Yeah.
Fantastic dude. He lives up to the moniker of Big Chief. He's a big man.
Yeah.
Very massive man, yes.
Yeah. It's
Very much so.
intimidating figure.
Actually, you know the funny thing about it is Big Chief doesn't intimidate me as much as Dennis Williams does. I don't know what it is about Dennis Williams, but Dennis like scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
Like he does. Like I don't know if it's the crew cut and the fact that it's all white, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But Dennis scares me.
All right. So before we get too far into this, do you have a smoke of the week? Or are you doing it?
I do have one. I have the Black Label Trading Company's Salvation.
Ooh.
Because Whiskey Fest was my salvation last weekend because I was having a rough week.
So where did you get it?
I got it from War Wagon, actually.
No way.
I talked to Connor and the guys out there at War Wagon. I got a few other things I'm reviewing over the next couple of weeks. Jacob's Ladder is one of the ones I'll be reviewing probably next week or the week after. I have the Lawless by Black Label Trading as well. I'm going to review it. I also have one of the Warfighter ones that I'm going to review at some point. So I've got like pretty good reviews lined up for the next 3 weeks. And this.
So you came out of War Wagon pretty good.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Bought a cutter, bought a lighter because you know me, I'm a sucker for somebody's branded stuff. So I always, everywhere I go, I mean, I've got Galveston Island, I've got Nacogdoches Cigar Company, Ohananui, you name it, I've got it, and it's all local stuff. So, but not to get too far into this. This is a level 3. I got the Robusto on this one. So according to our good friends at Cigar International, this one was founded in 2013, so it's 10-year-old is when it was founded. And the couple that actually started Black Label Trading is actually from Texas.
Oh, interesting.
They are James and Angela Brown, which you've heard me talk about, but then before when I did the last Wrights and some of the other Black Label Trading stuff. But yeah, it's a good one. I love what they're doing out at Black Label. I actually have talked to Derek Matthews, which is the national sales manager for Black Label Trading. So he sent us some stuff back in early 2023 that we reviewed and went through. So they're always good stuff. But yeah, Jake got the Salvation too. Fantastic. And the Jacob's Ladder, yes, the Jacob's Ladder. I'm excited. That's the one I'm excited about the most, is the Jacob's Ladder. And the Warfighter one. I'm excited about both.
Dennis's sister.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, I said, love it. He scares me, too.
He does. He scares the bejesus out of me. Like, and Bucky knows I don't intimidate easy. Dennis Williams intimidates the crap out of me.
Nah.
He really does.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something different. I normally V-cut.
Look at you.
I'm punching today. Yep, I'm punching today. Punching, and I'm using my brand new War Wagon.
The Garrison 50 cal was a solid smoke.
I don't know if that's the one I got or not. I'd have to look. I don't know if that's the one I got.
And yes, Distillery Reviews did a giveaway. Gosh, how long ago was that, Chris?
A
while back. And I had gone up to Dallas, I think, twice since then. And I kept thinking, well, I can just go through Houston and come back this way, and we can meet and get
Are they out of Houston?
He is.
Okay.
And then it just never happened. And finally, he was like, I'm just going to bring it to Whiskey Fest and give it to you there. I was like, that'll work.
Yeah.
Talking about,
so I finally got the
Talking
bottle.
about Whiskey Fest, though, while I light this and smoke this pig here for a second.
Dead air.
Yeah, dead air. Got quiet.
Sorry.
We're just waiting.
I was enjoying. Oh, man, that's got really good cocoa on the end of it.
Dennis is a teddy bear.
Oh, look at John. Shit!
Yeah.
There's a obligatory shit.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yes, John's got his obligatory shit. Hey, can you turn on the air purifier?
What's up, Jeff Durant?
When you get a chance.
Yeah.
Jeff Durant. Okay.
Jeff is with Still Austin now.
Oh, look at him. I like that. I
Jeff's
got to talk to.
guy.
Speaking of, I got to talk to my buddy James from Still. I love James.
Yeah, James, great man.
Cracks me up.
We
Is
walked
it
by,
plugged in?
we dapped, and
think it's
then
plugged in.
I said I'd be back to chat with him, and it never happened.
Oh yeah, I chatted. I chatted with him. The wife chatted with him. I actually walked away with their some swag from them.
Yes.
Yeah, I got me an.
Yeah, somehow.
Me up with a new. Jeff did with the
it's so
Still
good.
Austin hat. So
I didn't get one of those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's.
I'm a hat guy.
Somehow I found myself, especially toward the end of the night, migrating to the booths that I knew people at.
Yes.
And somehow I made it to the Still Austin booth twice and just ended up hanging out and talking with James.
Yes,
dude,
James is good.
They're
James
great.
Probably
people
way
over
too
there.
long.
Yeah.
And then I ended up finding him on Instagram, and I meant to message him.
He has a band.
I didn't realize that dude could jam.
Yeah, he can jam.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Jam.
he can jam.
Wow.
I did not
okay.
know. I would have never guessed.
Dude's
But
talented.
Yeah.
I listen to some of his stuff on the Instagram. Look,
Maybe we'll have him
him
do something different at Whiskey
Uh-oh.
Fest next
I
year.
like it. I like it. I like it. Man, this is so good.
hey, Mitzi, how are you? Yes, what's going on? JT Mellick Distillers, where are you at? Hey, go ahead, tag him in there.
Moving platform.
I see Jeff with the blue corn. I need to say, I don't know if that hit stores this week yet or not, Jeff.
Oh, the
I
blue
need to.
corn?
Oh, dude,
I
the
need a
blue
bottle
corn
so
is
bad.
so good.
It was so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I've
Yeah,
got
we-
about a bottle and a quarter left. I
Yeah.
got a whole bottle and then like a quarter of a bottle left.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Apparently, I'm not the only one that was intimidated by Dennis because Jake said he asked about something sitting on our table. He felt like he was being corrected. You gotta love
That's
that.
possible.
That's so good.
Well, what's up, guys? How's y'all's week been since Whiskey
How
Fest?
has your week been? Is the question because you were
Just real quick, Jeff did say Longhorn is getting cases this week.
nice.
Oh, nice.
Because
There we go.
you were busier than a church fan in August, my friend.
Yeah, it was. Me and Mike talked about that after last year. We felt like the blueprint
Probably
was
gotta
out
plug
there,
that thing in
and
because it's smoky. Yeah, keep talking. So you and Mike talked.
yeah, we felt the blueprint was out there. But as you get into the event, and the doors are about to open, and you're worried about making sure everybody gets through the door in a timely fashion. All these things that we think about that we've either seen at other events that we didn't think flowed right or whatever, and just as the night gets started, it doesn't really stop as far as making sure everything goes
Right.
off. We had those classrooms going on upstairs, and you got the music going on outside.
Yes.
And you got just being pulled a lot of different ways, and customers and people wanting to stop and talk to you because they're having a good time, so they're wanting to tell you how badass your event is.
Yes.
And it's just run around. I had one sample glass of whiskey all night, Did have a couple of beers outside from Buxton's.
Yes.
But
talk about those. Those guys they got some good stuff going on.
Yeah, they got some good stuff going on, and they were very pleased to be a part of it. They couldn't have been happier, and we were happier. Yeah, I mean, just having them out there, I thought would have changed the dynamic of that outdoor area, and I think we succeeded in that. I think anytime somebody walked out there, it was a packed house out there.
It was a packed house. It was.
Hey, what's going on, Thompson? What's going on, buddy?
Nobody of us bought Republic boots, by the way, John. None of us did.
We didn't end up.
We
with
looked
any
at them.
boots.
We tried to win boots. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
I've got some on my feet.
Short on cash.
Yeah, you do have some on your feet. Yes.
Yeah.
But I do have to give y'all credit for one thing in particular. Y'all's line control is second to none. I wish y'all could do like some major events with the way y'all handled y'all's lines, because they were no wait times whatsoever.
Yeah.
They scanned your thing. You got your wristband. Boom, you're moving.
Yeah, the bag's ready to grab.
Yes.
And then you grab your glass. And
line control was amazing.
One thing we talked about we really liked we did this year, and this was Dennis's idea, was everybody that picked up their Glencairn. There was a Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest pin.
Yes. That was a very nice touch. I liked that.
One right here.
Mine's in my backpack.
They came out absolutely gorgeous, and to walk around and see how many people put those on. It was that was really cool. That was really cool.
I was afraid to lose mine because I almost lost something of mine, but luckily enough, my compadre there had it. So, yeah, it was that hat sitting on top of the air purifier, actually.
Oh, okay.
My Texas Tail Distillery, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Look at Jay.
I do like the color scheme of that hat.
I do, too.
It's nice.
They turn out some pretty good merch. I love their and I have it, and I wear it all the time at the house and when I'm doing stuff kind of around the house, but it says bacon, guns, freedom, and whiskey on it.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's an army green shirt. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Those should all, I believe in all those things.
Yes.
Very much so.
Very much so.
I mean, bacon and whiskey's probably.
Yes, that's right up there.
Half my weight I'm carrying around right now.
Bacon and whiskey, I love it. So was there any particular standout bottles? Because Jake was kind of curious. I mean, we all talked about the Garrison ones and stuff like that, but I'm just curious on if you.
What do y'all think? I mean, I didn't get to go around.
I know as far as atmosphere-wise, I think JT Mellick had one of the best atmospheres as far as booth goes. Because, I mean, Mia and her husband were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot say
Excited
enough good things about her. There was another, the guy from Three Chord, who I still do not know his damn name, and he wouldn't even tell me it.
I know that was his wife helping him.
Yes, that was his wife, yes. But still did not tell me his name. But I know one of our friends, Ryan McGee, posted one of his pictures of stuff he had, and the gold bar, the Rickhouse, was one of Ryan's, I guess, top pours or whatever. That
it was very.
Which I found out something about that bottle. That bottle retails about $32.99.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I found out from said guy.
I think so. On the topic of a standout bottle, it wasn't my favorite pour. Ooh, excuse me, but it was the most interesting pour. The Bareface mushroom finish.
The Wilderness series.
The Wilderness
was definitely
series.
An interesting pour.
Yeah,
it was a very good one.
I'd already had it previously.
Oh, really?
It very interesting. I did enjoy it quite a bit.
It was very interesting.
It's very interesting.
It was definitely one of those bottles that kind of stood out. Like, do I like this? Do I not like it? It's weird.
So I have a confession to make.
It was a thinker.
So I had 2 cocktails while I was out there.
What?
I did.
What a loser.
I know, right? One of them was the pink thing from our friends at Texas Tail. I had a small sample of Brady's, really good. Don't know what they put in it. But the other one surprised me was from my new friend himself, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
With Ghostwood, the Cowboy Mojito.
Cowboy Mojito? That was pretty good.
The Cowboy Mojito was really good. And Rick was a super good guy.
So just bourbon instead of rum?
Yes, bourbon instead of rum.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got a little, really he gave us a little recipe card thing. It's got the recipe on it.
Yeah, it's got the recipe on it.
Nice.
I know
it was a good drink.
I know he was up in his bar boss thing, so I'm hoping he gets through to where he can send that recipe to the good friends at barboss.org.
I'll say that was, and because I definitely this year did not drink as much as last year. I think going in,
I don't think either one of us did.
year one, you kind of get overwhelmed.
Yes.
This year I played it a little easier.
You paced.
Yeah.
I paced, and I drank what I wanted to drink.
Yes.
You acted like a grown-up.
Right, I was a grown-up this year.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things I really liked about this year was how much I just talked to all the reps.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the reps.
Like there was more just sitting, hanging out, talking, whether I knew them or not. But like for the most part, hanging out with Mia, talking to her from JT Mellick, and then hanging out with James from Still Austin for probably longer than I should have. JD grabbed me in the middle of an aisle from Penelope and talked to him for probably 15 minutes.
I did not realize
there was way more talking with people.
JD actually is.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Funny.
He's awesome.
Like he's a funny dude. I like talking with him.
That was one of the coolest parts about it, and that was something I kind of recommended to everybody, especially at an event like this that I find really cool versus some of the other places or whiskey fests you go to. If you stop and talk to these people, they'll talk to you.
Yeah, they'll have a conversation with you for sure.
Thompson, who was in the comments, I don't know if he's still watching.
He was at Chattanooga's booth.
He had Chattanooga whiskey and a couple other things out at their booth.
Bingham's.
Yes, Bingham's as well.
Yeah.
He was really cool to talk to. Even ran into him at the after party.
Yeah, Thompson's a great guy.
Love Bingham's, by the way.
Yeah.
Had it, loved it. Will be purchasing a bottle soon. I liked it.
The gentleman from the Distillerium. That was what I wanted to talk to.
Distillerium.
Yeah.
Distillerium. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, and he never corrected me.
Out of Yakima, Washington.
Yes.
Yakima.
That guy was really cool to talk to.
You tell you the funny thing about that guy? That guy's originally from this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he said he was in Houston.
Yeah, he was in the Woodlands.
He's in the Woodlands.
Something like that.
Played ball at McNeese.
Yeah, played ball at McNeese.
But that was one I was really interested in trying out there because I'd seen it whenever me and Jake went by Friday whenever they got in town. I saw it sitting on y'all's shelf, and I originally grabbed it because y'all got a single barrel and then the Triticale or however you pronounce that.
Yeah, Triticale.
And I grabbed the single barrel, and they proof it down to 95, which is still cool. And it's like $45, I think. Mm-hmm. And I had it in my hand while we were all walking around, and then I was like, you know what? I know they're going to be at Whiskey Fest tonight.
I'm going to try it.
Let me try it first. But it's definitely a bottle I'm going to go back and get because
very much.
I got a chance to try the No Man Whiskey.
I did that one. Yeah, I did that one. I liked that one. I thought it was.
What they're doing is it's really good stuff, and it's somewhere I've never heard of.
And they've got a couple of cash strength offerings that you'll probably see on our shelves in the near future that sit around $60.
Really?
Wow. For 114, 115 proof.
Heck yeah.
So yeah,
that's a good price.
Good price. It's all being made up there, and it's not sourced, or it's from Yakima.
But that was that was the other part I found really cool about this one was that I got an opportunity to talk to and to try things that I've not tried before.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Ghostwood, something we've never seen in the area.
Sure.
Got an opportunity to try that. I was really surprised by that one. They're making pretty good stuff.
They're making some pretty good stuff out there in Montana.
The Distillerium, or however you pronounce it, that one was pretty cool. JT Mellick finally being in Texas is another one.
Yeah.
Giant Texas being out out of Houston being there this year.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
got a chance to talk to them.
They actually want us to come do a live.
So
me and Mike talked about that one.
Because that's the other part of it is there's a lot. Explain how you kind of get all of that in the room, because there's the Giants, Brown Foreman, Diageo, et cetera, Maker's Mark, all the good stuff. And then there's also some local or smaller places like Texas Till, Giant Texas, JT Mellick. Like, you've got a really good mix. How do you bring all of that into one room?
Well, it starts with the size of the room, and I'm not saying that facetiously. It's a big space. We're allowed to, if you took just 10 by 10 spots, which is originally what the map looks like, so just total number of booths before we group together for an end cap or something like that, you're at over 110 booths.
Yeah.
And so, and then we lean on the a lot of these connections we already have with these suppliers. If it's somebody new into the market, maybe they've heard about it and they reach out to us, or maybe we're reaching out to them. The connections get made, and most everybody that, now that we're 2 years in, but after being 1 year in, and you had that feedback and people talk, and within the industry, and I think maybe a little bit more apprehension going into the first year, just knowing it's a brand new festival. What's it going to be like? Everybody's looking for a return on investment, and but you get past that first year with the success that we had. It's a lot easier for people. That next year you have everybody that wants to be involved for the most part, and moving into now what's going to be year 3. We'll probably have to make some tough decisions at some point on who's in and who's out.
And at some point, you have to limit, right? What you cram in there.
Yeah, you definitely have to limit. I mean, one thing we don't want to lose with this festival is the amount of space that people have to move around.
Right.
And what we hear from a lot of feedback in festivals that we've been to is how crowded the aisles are, and so. It's one thing we continuously hear is people love how much room there is to move around, have conversations in the middle of an aisle, and you're not blocking traffic. And so we don't want to lose that feel. So the number of booths that you see set up in there is pretty much what we can fit in there. We're going to want some turnover for sure. You want to introduce new brands like Ghostwood that was out there this year.
Yeah.
You remember year 1 we had Hachitall from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They weren't there this year. We had a couple others that were there year 1 that weren't there, and it gives us the ability to roll in a couple of new brands and introduce those to people. And we'll do the same, but to be able to have the Brown Formans and the Diageos and the Beam Suntories.
Yes.
These big, massive brands, and then you just go like right now in Texas, like with Garrison Brothers, having Still Austin, having these brands, those brands will always be there. But there will be a little bit of, turnover from year to year to try to keep it fresh. And look, at the end of the day, this is an event about bringing our consumer base, customers, attendees closer with whiskey.
Yes.
And a lot of people are looking to try stuff that they haven't had a previous chance to try. So,
and that's what I love about this event. That and the fact that this year for me, I took kind of a different approach. I know you talked about the stuff that you wanted to try. I kind of played more or less tour guide with a couple of people.
Yeah.
Because I had like Jake and I kind of walked around a little bit, tried some stuff. When Sherwan and Pop showed up, which, by the way, Pop's got to be one of the funniest men on the planet. That dude's hilarious. But when they showed up, walked around with them, tried some stuff, introduced Sherwan to some stuff. That was the role I kind of took this year with it, and I had a blast.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think is really cool.
I loved it.
And I think we could both say we'll both echo the same thing. Me and Roy, I almost in a sense feel like we can take a little bit of ownership with this. Not so much like ownership, but like we play a little bit bigger role. Like people recognize us from the pregame show or this show or whatever. But it's funny, and Mia would tell you, she knew I was funneling people to her booth, and she was like, "Oh my God, you got to quit!"
Yeah,
but I was like,
stop.
"No, this is the best stuff.
You got to quit.
Everybody, go try it."
The same with the guys at Texas Tail. We funneled a bunch of people that direction too.
But it was, and that was kind of the cool thing. And you talked about the space that you have. I was walking by and I overheard somebody saying, "I don't think there's very many booths here this year. If there's less booths," and I was actually like, I stopped and I was like, well, actually, if you must know, there's about 10 more booths here than there were last year, as well as more bottles and actually more people inside.
Yes.
If you look, the stage is gone from last year, and they stretched out the booths this way.
Yes.
So it may feel more open, but that's the reason why. There's actually more booths and more people here this year.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, just a little bit of information.
Well,
Mr. Tour Guide over here.
Yeah, if they'd have paid attention last year, I saw where that stage was. Now, Brown Foreman took up that entire end, which was very impressive.
Talk about that. They had an etching.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was really – I didn't get to take a part in it, but it was really cool just to kind of watch from afar.
Yeah.
People like having their bottles etched and different stuff.
No, it was really cool. I don't know if they were able to get it to work. They were originally talking about like they'd be able to take a picture of you and then have your picture engraved onto the bottle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I know they were having a little bit of kinks with it. I don't know if they were able to get it working or not, but hopefully in the near future, if not, they'll be able to. But their booth was stunning.
Their booth was good. We talked about it last year.
But you want to talk about beautiful booths, you have to talk about the fact that Garrison Brothers brought a whole dipping station out there.
Oh, yeah.
How cool was that?
I partook in the dipping.
Yeah, I've got about 50 pictures of you dipping your bottle.
Yes.
I was editing pictures the other night, and I was like, oh, my God, how many did I take?
I took the whole, when you hear the phrase, you dip, I dip, we dip, I took that to a whole nother level with that bottle.
Elena with Garrison Brothers had to go take a special class.
Oh, gosh,
to be able to do that.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
That's
it was
cool.
Something unique, and we're actually, me and her have already had a conversation talking about maybe doing that in one of our stores.
That'd be
coming
fun.
up. Yeah,
Nice.
so that'll be cool.
Very nice. Is Donna's coming back? Because I had a geek out moment with Donna's.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Donna signed my bottle, I just literally, I'm normally not speechless a whole lot.
Yeah.
But as Donna's Todd is literally taking a silver Sharpie and signing the back of my bottle, I didn't say a word.
Yeah, no, and that's, again, I said it whenever we were leading up to the Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest. How cool is it that the master distiller for Garrison Brothers poured my first ever pour of Cowboy Bourbon?
Yes.
Well, he's also poured my first ever pour of Laguna Madre.
Yes.
So my two experiences with Garrison are like up here.
You've peaked.
Right,
already,
I don't know if it can get any better at this point. So real quick, let's take a quick pause. I know we have a couple of questions.
Yes, we do.
What did you just pour us?
Yeah, so it's probably ironic that
Interesting.
for the first bottle after Whiskey Fest, I decided to pour a brandy.
Yeah, sir,
So-
we just finished Whiskey Fest?
Yeah. So this is from our friends over at Andalusia. Y'all know how big of fans I am.
I talked to Mario probably for 15 freaking minutes. Introduced Jake to Revenant Oak. Jake loved it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they sourced
Get you a pour of that.
the grapes there from the Texas Hill Country, and they put this thing together. And this I don't know if they make Applejack is actually made with apples or not, or if it's some sort of But
I didn't know if you knew any kind of story. It's like, is it aged in their
Yeah,
single malt
it's-
barrels? Is
No,
it?
it's a brand new number 3 charred oak barrel, so gives it a nice little color. It's only less than 3 years old, 32 months,
It's a very good color.
but bottled at 100 proof. So a little bottled and bond action for you there, at least for the proof.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I thought it would be something interesting.
That's very nice. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, anytime I'm coming on, except the last time because I didn't bring anything, I was a little busy. I just stare at my shelf and I'm like,
what can I bring?
for worse, I look at and say, what would Bucky drink? Because most of my shelf nowadays is single malt.
Bucky will not drink
right.
it.
And Bucky won't
How do
drink
I make
it.
Bucky not enjoy this? Is
Yeah.
what you say.
Right. So,
Anything peated.
well, I do the opposite,
Oh, okay.
Does the
Yeah.
opposite.
I even brought from Balcones one of their bourbons instead of their single malt.
Hey, now.
for you.
Single malt.
Real quick, sorry, I know we were going to talk about this, but Charlie had Catalea out there.
I tried it.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
I get what Cadillac.
Look,
I don't understand what Balcones does to their single malt that just makes me love it. Like, it is legitimately the number one single malt I will continue to buy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why or how or what they're doing, but Balcones single malt,
It's called Magic.
it really is.
Yeah.
It's Charlie's hair is what it is. It's
But whatever they're doing,
How tall is that dude?
God, freakishly tall.
freakishly tall.
Like-
It's so
Freakishly
hard.
tall.
Okay, and from a photographer standpoint, it is so freaking hard to get a picture of him and everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
Very hard.
Like, I was turning my camera, I was like, okay, how can I crop this? How far back can I get?
You need a better
Yeah.
lens.
It's crazy.
We need to get you one of the big lenses.
But he's really tall.
He's
Anyways,
really tall.
sorry.
He's got to be every bit of 6'5", 6'6", at least.
Yeah.
He's got to be every bit of that tall.
I know he's over 5'11".
Well, of course.
Yeah. I'm every bit of it.
Show off.
Jake makes a really good point, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but since he did, he said most disappointing bottle or pour of the evening was the Heaven Hill 20-year. I actually told multiple people that. Like, I was just not quite impressed with the 20-year. It was, I don't know. I guess maybe my hopes were too high.
Well, I think bottles like that, and even if you're starting to, oh, God bless, that's good.
Isn't it?
God, that is good.
That is so good.
I've just been smelling it. I ain't even tasted it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you're talking about the Pappies or the B-Tacs,
Yeah.
like, you've already created so much hype about that bottle in your mind going into it and what the expectations are that I actually, if there's a way to try those blind, would probably be the
that would be the
way.
Put them all under a paper bag.
Yeah, that way you don't get.
Golly gosh, that's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good.
That's fantastic.
Ooh, that's a good brand.
So, yeah, I thought that's something y'all would like from them.
Good job, Andalusia.
Good job, Andalusia.
Yep.
Mario is one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, he's a great guy,
I love
man.
talking to Mario. I seek Mario out every time I see him at one of y'all's things, whether it's a store picnic, Whiskey Fest. Mario! Love that dude.
He's a great representative for that brand.
Very much so.
Talking about a brand rep that when you know when he walks in the building, you know when Mario. And he does it so he just kind of walks in.
And Mike Williams said the Glendalough Irish coffee.
That was really good, by the way.
That was a pickup that I needed.
Yes, we had the Irish coffee, and it was very much
Nick was telling me about making it. He was over there making it, but I'd never.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't get to try it. Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah. Nick is fantastic.
But Nick period, is just an awesome dude.
Like, Laws, yes. Megan and the group at Laws. I was slightly disappointed. I coin-checked Megan. She didn't have her coin.
Oh, man.
I have a gargoyle coin.
Yeah.
Her gargoyle coin.
I coin-checked Megan, and Megan's like, I don't have mine. I was like, I was hoping Al was here. I was going to coin-check Al, too.
You didn't coin-check me?
Do you have a gargoyle coin?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Do you have it on you?
No.
Okay.
Sherwan seconds the Ghostwood.
Yes, the Ghostwood. Yeah.
I think that was a really good one. I mean, every time I looked over, his booth was
busy. And I'll tell you another booth that surprised me. It was busy, but my friends, I'm gonna drop a phrase here. FOMO is a real thing.
The Traveler.
Yes.
Yeah.
They like Jeff and them.
At the end of the night, I got a chance to meet Jeff Levy from EB. Sorry, not Levy. I don't know why I said Levy.
I don't know.
I don't know neither.
Where am I getting? Where did I get Levy from?
I think there's a famous actor that's last name is Levy.
Anyways,
this chat tonight.
I know it's I can't keep up with everything. But yeah, I got a chance to talk to him and kind of just pick his brain a little bit, and meet him for the first time.
He's a good dude. Like
it's a small brain, so it doesn't take long.
And
I can say that because I love Jeff.
Yeah, but he had a couple of bottles of Traveler sitting on the table. One of them was completely empty. I think the other one maybe had like a splash left in it. And he asked, he's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "No, we've had it. Thank you." And I was like, "Thank you, by the way." I didn't get a chance to personally thank you.
I sent him a screenshot of the updated numbers from our Traveler review that you cut down to like 19 minutes and put on YouTube. 1,800 views, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And counting.
And counting.
Yeah. That was perfect for Traveler to be there as well as it's making its appearance in the Southeast Texas this week.
Not just what, because I'm sure you guys got y'all's this week. I know, because there's other people that got in theirs.
We may get a few cases.
So I want to dive into Traveler because I said on that episode I want to revisit it.
Okay.
I have an idea. I brought some other stuff. And I want to see something.
Okay.
But let's just kind of run through these.
Let's run through.
Get a little bit.
Let's go with it. Do a little housekeeping.
William Price Cast Strength Rye was great.
That was a good one.
According to Big Chief, yes, that was a very good one.
That was a good pour.
Just kind of a braggadocious on Longhorn and Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest. Jake says, worth every penny. Can't wait to be back, maybe permanently at some point. Best people around. Felt like a big family. Longhorn spoiled me, and now I'm disappointed every time I see a local liquor store.
Hey, that's great.
And Jake lives in Alabama.
Yeah. Cody with St. Laws. Cody Miller was out there. He's
hey, Eric. What's going on, buddy?
Eric.
Clint Denman, nice for him to jump in.
Clint quickly found the Dickel booth.
Of course.
I'm just glad he got a little Dickel that night. Bourbon Cigar Guy. I was hoping Dalmore was going to be there.
That's interesting. Applejack is also cut with apple juice.
Oh. Did not know that.
Did not. That's interesting. Okay. I like it even more now.
So Chris from Distillery Reviews said, we'd love to see a list of who is new versus returning as a lead up to next year. Help build the hype for specific highlighted brands. That might be something to think about moving forward.
Yeah. I'm ahead of you. I'm looking at what Mike put because we've already been in discussions. Mike Williams, Longhorn booth design for 2025 is underway.
Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Love it.
Big Chief, I heard.
If anybody knows Mike Williams, he doesn't do anything small.
No.
Right?
I went to the man's.
You're saying it's going to be bigger?
I went to the man's clay shoot this year, and I was super excited.
Yeah.
And I'm going back. I already told Jeff. Hey, when you
Jeff
go,
Levy?
Yeah, Jeff Levy. As
Yeah.
Bucky so eloquently put it.
Yeah, Levy. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah. I actually got Bucky.
You're
I
just
actually
a big
got Bucky.
dum-dum.
Bucky's going to
Yeah.
shoot skeet this year, hopefully.
Is he?
I don't know about all that, but
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to try. The invite's there.
Yeah.
you know.
The invite's there.
Better than heroin.
Big Chief said Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is going to have a live buffalo there next year, and he promises not to ride it. Big Chief, I want to ride it with you and
Yes.
just hold on to you.
That would be
That'd be hilarious.
that would be a
That
sight.
would,
to
and that would be a
seen.
sight to see because he's massive and I'm not. So
Yeah,
I just
you're-
want to hold on to him like
Yeah.
a safe little teddy bear.
You look like an extra from The Hobbit sometimes.
Let's see what else.
Shout out to my boy Matt that's in the
Hey, look at
chat
that.
too.
Penelope Rio. Yes, that was another good
That was
pour that was out
JD
there.
said that bottle went fast.
I'm sure it did.
Oh,
Rio,
yeah.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the
was
Rio went
phenomenal.
fast. I assume the Blue Corn from Still Austin
Yes.
has gone pretty fast.
Oh, Megan's on
y'all-
too. Fantastic.
Yeah, I saw
Chuck
Megan.
asked if we had tried the new Courage and Conviction. I don't think I did.
I think I did.
I saw him out there, but
I
I
talked to
honestly
Toby.
didn't have a chance to even stop at that booth. And plus,
Yeah.
it's not one of my booths.
I'm not gonna lie, and this is gonna be kind. I'm probably gonna catch some shit for this. I like the one that y'all had at your
bourbon
raffle.
cask?
Yes, I love the one that's finished in Woodford. That Courage and Conviction to me is phenomenal. It's sitting right over there. Love that bottle.
Yeah, the cask strength.
Yes.
Bourbon cask.
Yes, that bottle is great.
Yeah, that Megan had our. I think she had the new Longhorn pick out there, the single malt.
Yes.
That
Yes,
was,
she had the
yes,
single
we tried
malt.
single malt.
I think she had the Sauternes cast. I
Yes.
took
Yeah.
pictures of it. I've
Yeah,
got
she
them.
had a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
She had, her booth was awesome, and there was of course there was a ton of people there. And
Yeah,
that
she
single
had the-
malt again is just the story behind it is really cool. Not only does it obviously benefit cure rare disease,
Sure.
but it's basically the last of any single malt ever done by Laws, which is
Yep.
really cool. So
Yep.
the story
And-
behind that bottle is really awesome.
Yeah, the fact that we got to be a part of the end of that era with Laws is, and I'm a huge single malt fan.
Oh, yes.
So, but Megan, she had the last
of us
class of the night upstairs
some
at
of
the
us like
Nature's
it.
Room, and
I must
it
have missed
was.
you
She
even
showed me a
announcing
picture
it.
at Pour 09 of the class. It was packed.
Yeah,
they
it
did.
was
it.
Oh, I'm,
yeah.
I'd have probably been first in line for that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, just sitting and talking with somebody, Megan, she's awesome. Having an opportunity to be able to talk to people like that and just hang out while people are like there trying her stuff. And
Talk about cool
all that good
ideas
stuff.
from year one to year two, though. Whose idea was the after party?
Yeah, I mean,
That thing was lit. I enjoyed
it was a
crap out of
collaboration between me and Mike for sure. It's something we really
That
wanted
was
to
a-
do
that
last
was a good
year,
call on you guys' part
and
for sure.
and it just never got off the ground. And
He's talking about me when he made that comment.
and
I was a little rough starting out, but I finished strong. But yeah, I would gladly take shooting lessons if they build Giglio for them. I'm not paying for them out of my own pocket.
we'll let Jeff Levy do that. But yeah, we wanted somewhere
I
for
can't wait
everybody
till next week.
to go and congregate. And for me and Mike, and Catherine, it's a moment to decompress. And so we like to do that with our friends and,
Yeah.
and the vendors
that
that
was-
we're close with. And so I thought it was a great time. The ownership of Pour 09 they were head over heels
and
about
the,
us being
the people
out there.
that showed up at that event were, because there wasn't a crap load of people, but the people that did show up were all so freaking cool. Like we all just
Yeah.
hung out like one big family.
Yes.
So
it brought a great vibe out there to that place. I'm
Yeah,
not that they
and it
don't
did, 'cause
already have a great
Their
vibe.
old Forester.
is yeah.
Oh yeah, they had the
That's
barrel
all
pick there.
That's all I drink at
Yeah.
Pour 09.
But the way everybody
So
just kind of
Forster.
came together, because like it was, we hung out with Rick from Ghostwood for a little while upstairs, and of
Hung out
course
with
Big
Big
Chief
Chief,
was kind of
yes.
all over the place.
Hung out with Big Chief.
Sherwan and Ryan and everybody was kind of
Yep.
over here, and then of course at the table you had basically all your reps.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
Megan.
And it was really cool
and
because I
Thompson
probably
and-
spent a little bit more time there than I should have, but hanging out with Thompson and Megan and JD and
Yes,
just everybody,
yes.
Yeah.
seeing them outside of an event like that and just talking to them and hanging out and
Yeah.
being able to congratulate JD because they're pregnant again and stuff like that. Like that's cool to be able to just talk to these people.
Yeah, and that's
and
what the
see
whole
them
idea.
hanging out and just
That's what the whole idea of that event was. We like hanging out. We
I love
biggest
it.
festival to hit Beaumont, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's over. It's done.
Yes.
You're on this wave of emotions. It's like nobody wants to go home, but I don't want everybody going somewhere different place. I want to see all my favorite people, and Mike wants to see
and I
everybody.
Not to cut y'all off, but I do want to give a shout out to Sitting Sideways Limousine Service. By the way, they hooked us up.
Quick side note.
Yes, they hooked us up. And I enjoyed it. And
quick,
I love that.
Congratulations
to Rick for getting it to the quarterfinals of the Bar Boss competition. Fantastic. I love that. He gets to introduce Cowboy Mojito to the world now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler Dixon in. Shout out to 409. Absolutely.
409.
Yes. I kind of skipped over it. I don't know if y'all read it, but Thompson said it was his first time at the event. Was impressed with the layout. Great to see this type of event in my hometown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully he'll continue to come back because I got an opportunity to talk to him at the end of the night at Whiskey Fest. We both added each other on Instagram. And, that's what's cool. It's it's meeting these people and all of a sudden you're becoming friends with everybody.
And not only that, seeing comments like we're seeing, like Megan's comment.
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like that on these recap shows that we do. We did it last year. It was pretty cool. This year, by far, is beyond taking away my expectations for the recap show so far. We're not even
I know it.
Remotely done with it yet.
So kind of
I gotta go, guys.
This would be the shortest episode ever, sir, by the way.
Yeah.
47 minutes. Yes.
Me and Roy would just sit here and stare at each other the rest of the night. Now what? But
as long as you don't play Careless Whisper.
So, and it's been mentioned a couple times, the laws education class was packed out.
Yes.
And I heard you announce a couple of the classes while we were out there. How does that come about? What's the idea behind that? And is it just first come, first serve? Because I kept wanting to go over and try to get into one, but I just never had the opportunity. But and y'all had more of those this year than last year, right?
Yeah, we had 3 this year. Nice. Last year they were pretty much all by makers and Rachel.
About last year's.
This year we started with Donis up there. The first one ran at 6:30. Mm-hmm. Once I got on the mic, like I could even hear it with the house music. One thing, look, this is pulling back the curtain as to one thing that I thought didn't go well this year. Okay. When we lost that stage, the communication we had with the audio guys was we didn't realize that we'd be losing the speakers. And so when the house music came on, we had that Friday night. So when I talked into the mic on Friday night and the house music was playing during the welcome hour, everything sounded great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, then Saturday, we got and started the house music. It was coming through that intercom system at the Civic Center, and it sounded like shit. And so we know, and it won't. So I say that, I got on the mic, and I was letting people know, hey, 5 minutes, we're going to start a class. Meet me at the bottom of the stairwell. There was some stairs that went up to the third room, to that nature's room. And so, it's available for anybody that's in the room. It's first come, first serve. That room holds 40 people.
Nice.
We ran 3 classes up there. Garrison Brothers kicked it off. Whistle Pig was second, and then Laws closed it out. And so,
for those that didn't make it to those classes, can you give a little peek behind the curtain, like what goes on? What are they talking
it's just
about?
more. Well, for one, if you're a VIP and you get in at 5, by 6:30 when that first class is starting, you're probably already a little bit tuckered out. So it's a great place to go and get a seat, grab a seat, sit down, learn a few things. I mean, y'all got to see Donis talk on Friday night, so kind of a similar situation. They've got several of their whiskeys up there, and he's going into each individual bottle and the thought that goes in to those whiskeys and gives a little bit of the history and a lot of same things you'd see on a distillery tour, really, but they're at Whiskey Fest in a classroom setting. Plenty opportunities to sip on some whiskey up there, also to grab a water and stay hydrated, but also to learn a few things and kind of get a little bit more intimate with that brand. So I encourage anybody. It's we were running the classes about 25 minutes long.
Right.
I think that's a great time frame for them to be able to speak about their brand and get some things accomplished, but not taking people away from the festival too long. Yeah. That's the other thing. I think some people just we do such a good job of trying to create such an inviting environment down there on the main floor and in the outdoor area that I think you just see people that don't want to even give up 30 minutes of that time to go upstairs. They feel like they're going to miss something.
And you don't, because I spent a little bit, we ate.
Yes.
And then I spent a little bit of time outside talking to you and then a couple other people that walked up. And then I walked over and hung out with Ryan and Jake while they smoked a cigar from War Wagon. Yep. And I was probably out there for every bit of 45 minutes. And by the time I made it back in, I still had a long time.
Yes.
Like, so you could give up 30, 45 minutes and still have plenty of time for everything.
Yeah.
So it's, okay, so the question's been brought up a couple times. I never got an answer. I don't know if you ever got an answer. Is there a preliminary or estimated number on amount raised as of yet?
Yeah, I would say this is a rough estimate. We haven't even got all the data back from Ticketmaster yet, and putting all the receipts together on what went out to make this festival happen.
Right.
But we know where we were last year. You know, I came on last year, and once we got that final number, which I think was several weeks, if not maybe even a month later.
Yeah, it was like 313,000.
313,000, and chatting with Mike today and putting some stuff together. We're going to bump around. We're pretty confident in being around that 400,000 mark.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't be surprised if it goes a little bit.
I feel personally that's a conservative estimate. I think you're more around that.
Let's just say it's 400,000. How awesome!
Yeah, it's amazing.
How awesome is that?
No, it's
to raise $400,000 for cure disease.
And by the way, not only that, so I'm gonna pull behind the curtain a little bit on us that we've kind of collaborated with you on. We have Donis's spill from the sponsorship dinner and Rick with Cure Rare Disease that we will be posting at some point, whether it's through Longhorn social media, through Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest, through our own social media.
Yeah,
somebody's social media is going to have it somewhere.
To touch on that, like you guys were awesome being out there all weekend, documenting, taking as much as you can. Obviously, going live on Saturday. We had another photographer out there that was taking pictures, and so once we get all this, for the people listening out there, once we get all that put together and working with you guys on that stuff is for sure, we'll get it out there. I mean, my point in having y'all out there to do that and then having the photographer is as we get further away from 2024 Whiskey Fest and we start getting into promoting 2025, not only for people to look back and maybe have a nostalgic feel of what they remember witnessing in 2024 when they see that stuff comes out, but really use that to let people know, hey, this is what you missed out on.
Yes.
And there's a lot.
Shame on you. Don't let that happen again.
Yeah, don't let it happen again, for sure, because there was a lot going on.
I'm gonna take a second personally.
Sure.
And this is kind of my PSA. I don't want to bring the mood down on this whole thing, but I did have a little bit of a conversation with someone, and I'd like to say this. These guys at Longhorn, Mike, Dennis, and Michael, they are donating so much more than I think anybody realizes.
Oh, for sure.
As far as time, money, all the bottles that are out there.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes into this. They make no money off of this. And I want to reiterate that. No money is made off of this.
No, everything goes to
everything.
Cure Rare Disease.
1,000% goes to Cure Rare Disease.
Yeah.
All the allocated whiskeys are donated. Longhorn Liquor is covering most of the cost for everything out there. So when you talk to some people that are out there and that are a part of this event, as much as and as big of a role as somebody like Dennis plays in this, think about what you're talking about and know what you're talking about before you do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to attack anybody or treat them like shit.
Oh, wow.
Because I talk to them because they'll tell you and they'll be honest with you. Don't be a dick when you go out to these things. And I guarantee you it's not any of the people watching
no, of course not.
I want to say I'm 100% positive on that, but I'm never 100% on anything.
Yeah.
So, but I'm about 95% positive it's none of the functional friends.
Gotcha.
But don't be a dick and don't question what these people are doing, because I know personally that none of this is for benefit.
That's crazy.
This is strictly for charity, and I don't think people understand that.
Yeah, well, look, we see it. It's back when I was in the stores all the time, and we do the roundup for Cure Rare Disease in the store. $1.79 is your total, and hey, would you like to round up 21 cents? And people are skeptical.
What are you buying for $1.79?
I mean,
sorry, I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
99 watermelon.
But it was one of my favorite opportunities to engage with the customer at that moment and tell them the story of Cure Rare Disease and let them know that, because I get it. There are a lot of charities out there that and people raising money in the name of quote unquote charity that give the rest of us bad names. But there are people out there doing it right. And if anybody doesn't believe that, then I'm sorry, but don't come next year, because we don't we don't want you there.
and I mean, I'm sure you could tell, like I'm fighting it. Like,
I'm amazed.
When I read that message, I got so pissed off. Like, it took me a second, and then I replied, but I personally apologized to the person I was talking to.
So I'm curious
for what happened, because
message sent directly to you.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I didn't.
I apologize. Like, I felt like I needed to
I'm
apologize.
lost. I have no idea what you're
and we can talk about it a little bit after, but I just wanted to say that because I know that this isn't what this is all about, but I want people to understand that Cure Rare Disease means just that much to Longhorn Liquor.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's...
And Mike Williams.
I say we get into it now.
Well, and I mean, that was kind of it. So,
hey, I love the honey badger mentality. I'm all about it.
I mean, if you want,
yeah.
So, full disclosure, and if he wants to get mad at me, I apologize. I don't know if it was supposed to be not put out on the air.
Okay.
But since we're doing it, let's do it. Okay. So, me and Mike Williams have had a little bit of a conversation leading up to this show. Like, I'm just getting information, trying to figure everything out.
Right.
And I just asked, is there anything specific you'd like me to talk about? Yeah, there is one thing. My dad basically had one guy harass him, asking what we charge the charity as an admin fee. I'd like to reiterate, 10,000% goes to Cure Rare Disease. We donate all the allocated whiskey. We cover most of the cost for the event. There is no profit being made from this event. Yeah. That is directly from Mike Williams.
Jesus Christ.
It's 100.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Well, look, people.
I got mad. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, take a minute. I apologize. I'll take a second, but
yeah.
I got mad.
Hey, I'm always welcome for somebody to come up and challenge or question. That's human nature sometimes, and I don't get emotional with it. Like, I know what we're doing. I know what Mike and Dennis, their feelings that go into it, and their immense generosity. And you're right. It takes a lot of time, a lot of man hours go into this. You see some of our people out there that are working like 100% of that. I feel like with Mike and Dennis, I put as much into this event as anybody.
Oh, no doubt.
Not one penny, not one, comes to me from this event at all. 100% of everything made goes to Cure Rare Disease. I can't believe
somebody went that far with it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you know me, you know how I get. So I'm fixing to go on one of my little rants for a second. If you want to know what it's all about, I have a 6-minute and 24-second presentation from, what's Rich's last name?
Horgan.
From Rich Horgan himself that I will post at some point, and you'll see exactly. Because the way I did it a little differently, okay? And I did it on purpose like this. I actually caught not only his presentation, but the PowerPoint he had that went with it that shows where everything goes, where the research goes, all the figures, all that. So if you want to come talk to somebody, don't mess with Mr. Dennis. You come talk to my ass. I ain't hard to find.
And that's what
you want to find me. My cell phone number is on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
My address where this studio exists at is on the Facebook page. You want to come find somebody?
Thank you,
Mike,
Mike, for just reiterating and letting me know that it was okay to do that. I don't ever want to divulge any information that I can't or shouldn't.
I got that dog in me, man. I go hunt something down.
Got that dog.
I just wanted to make it.
And
very
another
clear.
person that was in the chat earlier, like Wendy, Dennis's sister.
Yes.
Like,
Amazing. I love her to death. She cracks me up every time I see her.
I mean, like y'all know, you see me and Mike and Dennis. We're all associated with Longhorn. This is not a Longhorn event, but a lot of people make that connection. Wendy does not work for Longhorn. She doesn't work, she is out there donating her time, 100%. Anything that we possibly need. She's instrumental in helping us get this event off the ground for nothing, because everybody believes in this charity.
Yes.
And if somebody questions that, I feel sorry for you.
I do too.
Because
and not only that,
you must hate yourself.
Find me.
Yeah.
I'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't have to go much further on this.
I know what I saw.
wanted to make it a point.
You need Big Chief to sharpen his knife.
And I knew I wasn't going to be alone on this.
That's the EDC guy. I got a few of those too. I can sharpen them up real quick.
Whether Mike Williams was okay with me letting everybody know that it was him that said it, and it was Dennis that was the one that was harassed, and I'm glad he said it was okay. But I knew I wasn't going to be alone in my pissed offness.
No.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that everybody watching, and that everybody watching after the fact or listens after the fact, understands that this is not a joke.
That's
we love it. We have fun.
Right.
You've come on this show many times, and we've drank for 5 hours and had a fucking blast.
Yes.
Pardon my French. But when it comes down to it, we do it because we can, and we're doing it for a good cause.
Yes.
We're not just doing this for funsies, for no reason to get drunk. We hardly ever get drunk, but at the end of the day, bourbon for a cause and whiskey for good, whenever I hashtag that stuff, it means something.
Remember that when you're putting 1,000+ people in one, there's going to be the law of averages is there's going to be a couple of dumbasses in the crew.
Yes, and maybe we take the law of averages and I'm blowing something up that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the one, we didn't even need the one.
Right. Sure.
If there was 1,500 people in that room,
that one.
But they didn't
it was
ruin
unnecessary.
anything.
No, and they didn't. That night was amazing.
Yeah. That one needs to go find
hearing
another
about
event.
it after the fact hurt my heart.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear it, but
They're probably from some other festival.
bastards.
They
So
can keep their ass there.
Yeah.
what have we poured now?
So
Okay.
I got the balcones.
So again,
Balcones.
I don't, I like to bring stuff, but I know Bucky's usually adverse to the single malt. So as many people know, one of my favorite distilleries is Balcones. And so this was a very limited release they did this past year. So it's their blue corn bourbon, finished in red wine cask. And so if we got it's got that little, if you'll see on the blue corn that usually has the blue foil corn on the cob. This one's got that little red, maroon, pinkish thing going on. So
Magenta.
Yeah, magenta. I like that. Yeah, that's probably accurate. And I thought the label looked cool, and it was a bourbon, and it was Balcones, and it's 122 proof.
I feel like I need a drink just to calm down my blood pressure.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, and
Oh, that's so good.
so
Oh, that nose.
obviously the blue corn, still Austin, bottled and bond. I've got so far all three that they've released. It's definitely my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about blue corn? And maybe you can't speak to it, but I mean, do you know anything about the blue corn?
No,
It's exotic.
It sounds cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's many different varietals of corn.
Mm-hmm.
I think Garrison Brothers, you look on the side of their bottles, it's yellow food,
Right.
number 2, something like that. So I just think it's trying to do something different. I mean, we've all had Still Austin, and they make fantastic bourbon.
Yes.
But that blue corn, just something a little different about it, And so I've had some. There's been some red corn bourbons out there that I've enjoyed. From High Wire Distillery out of South Carolina, they did a Jimmy Red Corn that I thought was fantastic.
Jimmy Red Corn.
Still Austin did a red corn as
the
well.
The very first release of this bottled and bond series was a red corn.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and
It was red corn, high rye, and then the blue corn.
Yeah, so just people in Texas trying to do things a little bit different, And so it's just
it's really good. It's got for me. There's a
really
heavy
good.
wine influence.
So I'm curious, you say it's finished in what? Do they disclose what kind of wine that it's finished in? Because I'm curious on the actual wine finish.
Hit a couple comments.
I
Tyler,
love Mike Williams' emojis.
Yeah,
They're
Tyler,
great.
and I'm not going to try to pronounce that. You can see it in the comments. Tyler Dixon says, "Love CRD. They help with AS research, which I struggle with myself.
Ankylosing.
Yes.
Spondylitis.
Okay.
Which
thank
he
you.
struggles with himself. That's awesome. I didn't know that, Tyler.
Okay.
An amazing charity. Yes, they are. People can question things if they want to. I know the Longhorn guy's character. That's absolutely ridiculous. Someone would take it that far.
Yes.
I'll fly my happy ass back to Texas. Megan says, Laws is laying down blue corn now. Can't wait to see how it turns out in a few years. That's awesome. Can't wait.
Oh, wow.
That is an image I'm not getting out of my head anytime soon.
And I don't know if that's breaking news. I don't know if Laws has even said that, but Laws is laying down blue corn.
No. I was talking about Big Chiefs coming in. That's an image I'm not getting out of my head anytime soon. Thank you for that.
This is finished in Grenache and Cabernet.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you
Cody,
want to read. Yeah.
If they give him my number. Big Chief, I got a magenta silk robe I'm wearing right now, Mike Williams, sipping on some Balcones Shiner.
Ooh.
That is the most sexual comment I have ever read. And we've said a lot of things on this show. But now I've got a picture of Big Chief, who I've officially gotten a chance to meet and see
I'm not getting
in a
that image.
magenta
Yep.
silk robe.
Yep.
That is a nice visual.
That's a tall drink of water.
Oh, shit. That's a pitcher of water.
God, no.
It's pretty good. I like it. Like I said, I get a heavy wine influence.
We definitely going to have to get into the bookers to take that image out of my head.
It's intense. Yeah.
Ooh, not good, Coach. Not good.
Yeah. So, yeah, what other Whiskey Fest related?
Let's see.
Oh, that is a good question.
What's that?
No, I was thinking of one in my head.
Oh, well, say it out loud. We're on a talk show.
I know.
What's up, Chucky High?
What up, Chuck?
I'm not reading Jake's went too far. Jake officially took it to Gentleman After Dark. Not touching that.
All right, what else you got? You had a question.
I do,
Come on.
actually. So you said it's all about where do you go. You're 2 years in. Mm-hmm. If Mike Wright himself had an open canvas for year 3, what would that canvas look like?
Oh, man. So we've already had some of those conversations, me and Mike Williams.
Yes.
And, I won't divulge that.
No. But I'm just saying there is thoughts there.
Okay,
There.
so-
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, look, it's one reason why I absolutely love Mike Williams and love working for him and putting this festival on with him is there's no idea that is too crazy. Okay. Now, there may be something that we don't follow up on and we think, okay, maybe this isn't the right fit. But anything that you can dream of can be thrown out there as a possibility.
I feel like Mike Williams is kind of like the Willy Wonka of the whiskey world. Literally how I feel like it. I feel like he
can we get him a purple sport coat?
I feel he would wear it. I feel he would wear it.
Instead of a cowboy, or we can figure out how to do a cowboy hat like Willy Wonka's hat.
And some of this goes back before
out.
Whiskey Fest, going back to some of the drops we did in December that were massive and had a...
I have some of your stuff.
Yeah.
we
Antique 107.
So it's, I think that there's conversations already being had. We'll obviously reserve a lot of that for the extreme inner circle, and we'll try to start putting some of that stuff together, but I can promise you, nobody in the world wants to make Whiskey Fest 2025 any more memorable than me and Mike Williams do.
Speaking of Mike Williams in 2025,
Yes,
the word spectacle has been used.
I can say this. I think Mike would be okay with me saying this. We do have the date for next
I
year.
was just about to announce.
Yeah. And go ahead.
So I was talking to Anna from Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest, Facebook and Instagram and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She broke the news very quickly.
Yes.
And I said, that was fast.
Yes, very much.
January 10th and 11th.
Ew, I like it.
January 11th
Yes.
is a Saturday, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whiskey Fest, year 3.
Yeah.
book it.
Yes.
Book it.
Book
Book
it.
it.
Put it on your calendar. Put it on the board.
Yes.
January 11th, 2025, Year 3, Whiskey Fest. I am
it.
excited already.
I love it too.
Yeah.
That was my first question. I said, can I announce that?
Can I say that?
So, yes,
Wow.
it is official. We have a Year 3. We have dates.
Oh, I mean,
How exciting is that?
sure. I mean,
How is Shelby O'Brien, by the way?
What up, buddy?
Yes. Fantastic, sir.
yeah.
Distillery. Booking it.
Yes. I think everybody's booking it.
Yes,
Like we're booking it now.
putting it on the calendar.
Yes, we're putting it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Of course, I do have an interesting thought though. Mm-hmm. So we did our pre-show, and I'm curious. I feel we need to push that back to right when the doors open.
Oh, God. Now you're pushing it.
Yeah, I feel like we need to kind of.
Let's have conversations.
Yeah, I feel like we need to have maybe a conversation about that.
It just ended. Let's figure that out
No.
first.
But I'm like a kid.
Maybe
Like
we just go live for all of Whiskey Fest.
Oh,
next year.
Jesus.
Let's have a
Oh,
functional
God.
gentleman booth.
Oh God,
How much would that cost us?
a lot more than what the show brings in. A year. God.
Oh, man.
So we got people booking already. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's
awesome.
going to be insane. I
Yes.
know. Again,
I mean, you talked about having buffaloes. I mean, at least the buffalo.
I did not say that. Do not put words in my mouth. I never said anything about an
Nobody said
actual
anything
buffalo
about a
being there.
Yeah. Please note,
Can it
Yeah.
be a mechanic?
there is not going to be a buffalo there.
Can
Yeah.
it be a mechanical buffalo?
Oh, gosh.
We may have buffalo sliders on the
Okay,
on the
that's,
menu.
now we're talking. Now
Yeah.
we're talking.
We can
Talk
do-
about good food. That Bando's turned out some good food for that.
Man, I've
Those
heard a lot of.
sliders,
I got a chance to try the shrimp and grits, and I thought those were fantastic. I've heard a lot of rave reviews on the gumbo,
nice.
but overall, just people talking about the food in general. That
Interesting.
well,
Very interesting. Fantastic. I like it.
yeah,
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
yeah. He getting a little ahead of the. We're assuming we got booths available.
Yes, that's super. I mean, we don't take up much space. You see our setup. We operate in itty bitty space.
So,
So fun.
and I know it's a sponsor thing, but can you kind of give everybody a little bit of a behind the scenes look? What were your thoughts about the Friday dinner, the live auction that y'all do? Just can you talk a little bit about that? I don't know how much you can give
absolutely.
or not give.
I'm an open book.
Some insanely good stuff was auctioned.
Yes, very much.
For most people listening, a lot of
Little bladder, little feet.
when Whiskey Fest comes around every year, I mean, people are always finding out how they can get a part of that
Yes.
Friday night deal. It's a sponsors dinner that we do. We have a lot of very lucky with the relationships we've made in the community. Just so happens that there's other people and business owners in this community that like doing stuff for charity as well.
Nice.
And so, luckily, we've been able to partner with them and become friends with them, and so we get them all together on Friday night this year. We Garrison Brothers came
Yes.
in and they provided the whiskey that was. So look, I'll paint a picture for everybody that's not able to go. You walk in and you start off with two tables that are just full of every whiskey that you've ever thought about.
And we're not talking little tables like what we sit at. We're talking big, long tables.
Yeah, 8-foot tables filled with Pappy, BTAC.
Yes.
Anything allocated. My favorite on Friday night that I tried at one of those tables was that Parker's Heritage Rye.
You did tell me that one.
Yeah,
I had a conversation about that, and I wanted
Yeah.
to try it, but I was being professional somewhat.
So there's a lot of great whiskey being poured, and then we sit everybody down. We have a proper served dinner to everybody, and Donis Todd got up. And
Megan, you're the best. We're not
And,
the best. You're the best.
Yes, thank you for entertaining us.
Yes.
Donis got up and had about a 10-minute speech and talking about Garrison Brothers and his journey into this bourbon world, which is just a fantastic story. And then we go from there and we roll straight from dinner into a live auction. many great prizes
I love
were
the auctioneer. I actually know the auctioneer personally, Scott Droney.
Oh, yeah.
Love Scott to death.
Yeah,
I bought my last probably 2 or 3 vehicles from Scott.
Scott's the best in the
Super
business.
guy.
I can't
Love
imagine anybody in this country doing it better than Scott does.
We had a brief conversation when he got finished, and he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Man, it made my night just to see you work because it was great to watch him do what he does."
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yes.
And then we finished up that live auction, which it's so humble by y'all. You guys were there to witness it.
Yes.
I mean,
It was amazing.
it's amazing how generous the people that have already paid for the tables to be there, and then to continue to pull out of their pocket for the cure rare disease.
And it was fun. Like the live auction, like the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Was fun.
it was hilarious. Yes, it was
Between
fun.
the Scott doing that and then the 2
His
floor guys, I don't
know
what you call them.
Right, wingmen.
Yeah, wingman. Yeah.
they were cracking me up the
They
whole
were funny,
time.
yes.
His comments, like trying to get people to raise their hand, was hilarious. But even just like as I was walking around trying to get pictures of as they were raising their hand and stuff, like they were having fun.
Yeah.
Like the people in the audience were actually enjoying it. It wasn't like, fine,
I'll
bid, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
the whole atmosphere
I gotta
was
raise
great
money.
'cause
It's fine.
I got a chance to
They were
talk
having
to,
a ton of fun.
to some of the guys because, my company actually had a table at that event, and I got to talk to some of them, and they're like, we didn't even know this thing existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a lot of people that, like, seriously, there were people that were like, man, was it like this last year? I said, well, I don't know. I wasn't at this part
we didn't do
last
Friday
year.
last
I didn't
year.
do Friday last year, but did Friday this year.
But being a part of it was
my God,
was
so
awesome.
fun.
Like just being
Yes.
there in that room,
Yes.
talking to those people,
Yes.
watching it, seeing it, being a part of it
I mean,
was amazing.
Yeah.
To me, it was it was more or less a really big outpouring of love to a certain cause.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about it.
So, out of curiosity, when you're estimating, and we're gonna continue to reiterate that estimating
Guesstimating?
$400,000. Does that include Friday, or is Friday more of a separate?
No. That's a total. That's a total
Okay.
figure.
I was just kinda wanting to
No.
wrap my mind
fair
around
question. It's but no, this whole event, it's broke up into 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just for one cause, and so this event is whether we did it in the same day, if eventually we break it up over 3 days, which may happen at some point, depending on how this thing continues to grow.
Stop teasing me.
Everything when we give that figure at the end, it's we want to let people know, hey, this is what we raised for cure rare disease. And but yeah, Friday night, Saturday night, they're symbiotic as far as
Right.
what they're raising.
I love it.
Charlie is Bourbon Cigar Guy on Facebook. He said he likes the YouTube better.
Oh.
I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube. I'm sure you're seeing there's a little bit of a delay on
Right,
the YouTube that I
there
can't
is.
quite figure out. I got to figure that out. But
Yeah.
however you want to tune in, Facebook, YouTube. I think we may be able to start doing Instagram soon. So that might be interesting.
The Insta.
Need to get y'all on X.
I'm on X.
Yeah, that's where
Formerly known as Twitter.
That's where freedom lives. Is over on X.
Yeah! America! Whoa! Love
America.
it. Yeah!
So, year versus year, what was your biggest changes? What have you taken from it year over year?
I mean, we're on to something. Okay.
You think?
Like, and I don't say that, but like, to put yourself in my shoes or Mike Williams' shoes or Dennis Williams' shoes, like, you plan these things out and you spend a lot of time and money to put these events on. And yes, you always have an idea of where your ticket sales are at. And will you hand me one of those fancy waters? I think it comes from the French Alps.
Mike needs his fancy water. And you call me bougie. He's got fancy water.
But to get there and to see everything come together, it's very surreal. Like, it's a feeling that y'all could never experience. I mean, what y'all experience, I'm jealous of because I don't get to you know, and I know y'all probably experienced less of the festival this year because y'all were kind of in a go mode. You know, where last year y'all were just attendees, but
I still had a blast.
It was,
like I'm jealous
words
because
of Willy Wonka, it was simply pure imagination.
But like the idea of this event for me came out of going to other Whiskey Fest and thinking we could do it better. The idea for Mike and Dennis actually preceded my idea of having Whiskey Fest because this was something that was on their mind in some sort of fashion back pre-COVID that they just never happened, and then obviously COVID derailed things.
Right.
COVID derailed a lot of shit.
And so to see everything come together the way it does, and to have what I mean, a lot of these people, like we know, like they're customers of ours from on the other side of things at Longhorn. They're friends of ours, like you guys are. They're family in summer. I mean, there's just, and to see everybody come together and to put on what I honestly think is the best damn party in Beaumont, Texas for 2 years running.
You should use that as
Like,
a slogan, my friend.
It's surreal. Like I almost feel selfish, to be honest with you. Like you've got all these vendors in there pouring whiskey. Okay. I love whiskey.
You don't say.
You have all these people that chose to spend their money because they know it's going towards a charity, and they come in there and they spend time with us, and like we can't do this without people showing up to attend. And luckily, I know a lot of these people, and so for that, I'm very grateful that I get to see their beautiful faces that night. But
Except for
you
mine,
get to
he
walk
didn't like to see mine.
outside. And you get to see Pug motherfucking Johnson playing under the tent out there.
Whoa!
Ethan Osborne opening for him. Buxton Brewing, who I've been at breweries all over this damn state, is some of the best beer in the state of Texas.
Very much so, yes.
And then you've got Connor with the War Wagon.
Love
like,
that dude.
It is a party.
Love that
That
dude.
is all my favorite things. Putting them one.
My favorite thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
beer, music, food, whiskey, cigars. What's not to love?
Right. Like if they would just rent me out the Nature's Room, I'll move into the Nature's Room if we can keep that party going like year round.
I like
You
it.
know, just
Okay.
it never ends.
I mean, it's not the Nature's Room, but you're more welcome to hang out here.
Oh, you're not about to, are you?
What are you doing? Is that what I...
Oh, that's store.
Oh, look
So-
at you.
Look at that fancy little sticker.
In honor of everything that y'all have done, I wanted to first crack my Still Austin Longhorn single barrel cask strength.
Yeah. Let me I'm gonna rinse out the glass for this one.
That's what I'm doing, too. I'm getting a good rinse going on.
Everybody feel free to get a pour.
Still Austin.
I thought that was a nice, because I mean, obviously we always have a blast whenever we get to hang out with Still Austin at whatever event. So it just kind of, I thought it would be a cool fresh crack. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
the first
I
Still
like it.
Austin store pick y'all have done.
Yeah. It's the first one we've done.
It was released, a couple weeks before Whiskey Fest.
Of course.
But yeah, I thought it would be a kind of a cool one.
Hey, great choice.
It's a very good choice.
I'm assuming you've tried it.
In my yeah.
No, he hadn't
in my
tried it.
Southeast Texas Whiskey Festival, Glencairn.
Can I say the Glencairns are a very nice touch?
Yeah.
Like walking in, and you've got people
Visually,
there.
you had 1,000 Glencairns sitting. Like, I don't know if y'all saw
Right,
that
and
part.
that's
Yeah.
the thing is walking in, you immediately know you're at something.
Right.
Yes.
Because there's people standing there, and there's just pile of gift bags, and you're like, ooh, cool. And then you walk a little bit closer, and there's just rows of Glencairns, and they're sparkling under the little fluorescent lights, and
Yeah.
they hand you this Glencairn with a little pin in it, and it's customized to say Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest.
I love the
Like,
pin.
it's such a beautiful little touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even Dana, she opened her gift bag real fast just to kind of glance in it as we were walking in. And she was like, oh, this is a little cooler than last year. Because her gift bag had one of the
Pour
pour spouts
Yeah,
from
Tin
Tin
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah.
That was a really cool little
I
touch.
didn't
She was like,
get
oh, this is
those.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's just little things like that. But like I was saying earlier, like that's something I think is going to be really cool to have up on a little display shelf is Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest Glens
That would be cool.
from every year.
Yep.
It's
absolutely.
just because that's a nice little touch, and it's a full size Glen. It's not a mini Glen.
No, it's not a wee Glen.
So I thought that I just think it's little things, very
Kudos
very
to you.
little.
Yeah, there's things right now that like, even like we're doing a pick with Maker's Mark every year that we'll say last year's Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest.
Right.
This one, SETX Whiskey Fest 2024.
Right.
Next year's we'll say 25.
Nice.
Like where people can collect, whether it's glasses, the glassware or bottles that we're doing. The bottle that we did with Megan over at Laws, between the Whiskey Festival logo and the Cure Rare Disease logo.
Yes.
It's little cool things that as we keep this event running, little mementos that you can hang on to.
And that's like Chris in Distillery Reviews, it's painful to go to a festival and only drink out of the little plastic cups.
Yes.
And I do it because I like to save and I don't like to mix a whole lot and there's, whatever.
Yeah.
But by the end of the night, I usually have about 50 of those little plastic cups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dana hates it because half the time I try to keep them because the little plastic cups is as much of a pain in the ass as they are. A lot of them, distilleries go the little bit of an extra mile, and it's got like the GB for Garrison Brothers or Dalmore. I know Dalmore wasn't there, but that was just one of the ones that popped up. But I think it's kind of cool that they go. It's the little touches like that from these distilleries as well, where it's got just a little a hint of personalization.
Yes.
But the amount of, and I know we've already said it, but the amount of swag and things that these distilleries bring to this event is outrageous.
So I'm going to be a little negative on the swag.
Okay.
Just a little bit. If you're going to have a shirt, have a 3X. For God's sakes, have a damn 3X.
Look, man. You got to limit it to something.
No.
Yeah.
Just, even if you
But
have
I mean,
one for
Charlie
me.
had the.
I don't care.
He had the plaid.
Super nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, they're
Super nice
badass.
shirt.
And I got up. I said hi to him before the festival started and stuff, and I was like, just tongue in cheek, said, "Oh man, that's a badass shirt." He's like, "All I have are mediums," and I'm like, "Charlie, I already got one. I bought it at the distillery."
He said, but he said the same thing to me because I was standing there talking, and we were talking about Catalea, and I was wanting to try it, and he was like, "Did you get a shirt?" And I was like, "No." You got mediums because Ryan had told me he got one, so I was like moseying over there. I was like, and Ryan said, "Yeah, I got a medium because that's kind of all they had left." And I was like, "What's that gonna be? Your sexy shirt?" But I was like, "That'd be a little snug on me." I'm sorry.
I ain't fitting in a medium.
Me and Ryan played a little golf in about 12 hours.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
Love that guy.
Oh, you're playing golf in 12 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
me and
Chuck said, "Man-sized shirts are requested."
Yes, very much so. Man size.
yeah.
But it's
Not little boy sizes, not
Because-
baby gap sizes.
I mean-
man size, damn it.
anybody can go online and see how much a Glencairn costs. I get it.
Yep.
I mean, and obviously you are buying them in bulk, and anybody that knows anything about anything knows whenever you buy in bulk, you get it a little bit cheaper.
Of course.
No, we don't.
But at the
Of course we do. I mean, you buy them by the
know,
pallet.
Right.
But-
Buy 'em by the pallet.
Yeah.
but it's still not the cheapest thing in the fucking world.
That's really not.
Oh,
You're giving out a full size
look,
Glencairn.
as far as any whiskey glass goes, outside of giving everybody a Norland glass, like you're giving them, and I'm being serious, like
The official
like,
glass. I mean,
Yeah, you're giving
Glencairn's
these
one
are
of those names.
Yes, it is the glass, the official.
It's the
it
not-
says
it's-
it on
it's
the
the-
box.
it's
Like
the-
you can't lie on these boxes.
Yeah, literally, it's just-
The official whiskey glass.
Yeah,
No, but it's just that's nice little touches.
yeah.
The pen was
Hey.
a nice one this year.
Look, we have an engraver in our Katy store. Curtis in Katy engraves 1,000 of these things
Seriously?
for us. Oh yeah.
Christ.
Oh, I thought you ordered them.
No. We engrave all these.
Oh, that poor little fella.
Yeah,
I'm
we got
sorry.
it by hand. He's got
I wanna
like
shake
this
his
little.
hand.
He's got like this baby chisel,
Oh,
and he does it all by hand.
Really?
Yeah,
man.
1,200 of them. No, we do etch them ourselves. So
That's pretty
On
cool.
our own.
I didn't
That's
realize y'all
actually-
etching them yourself. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
But the pins, that was a nice touch this year because I last year pins were a very popular thing to have
Pins
at your
were a popular
table,
thing.
and Dana
Yeah.
was going around and grabbing all the pins. So
Yeah.
I have a hat. It's actually a Snap-on hat that I got from our Snap-on vendor, but I've completely covered the Snap-on logo with pins from last year, and she got a whole bunch of pins this year. So I have a pin hat now for Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest.
Very nice.
I got to rearrange a little bit because as of right now, there's a giant Still Austin pin right in the middle because I love Still Austin.
Of course.
So I'm gonna have to move it and put the Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest pin in the middle.
Oh, we get top billing now?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I've got more pins that I got to add to it. So I think it's gonna be a really cool little hat. I can't wear it because it sticks my head.
Oh, no, I'm shocked.
It's still kind of a cool little thing. Like I've started sticking them on the hat, and I think it's gonna be really cool to fill it up.
Ooh, never mind. I'll talk to
Fun
you about
stuff.
that afterwards. I had a thought.
But that's what I like is the small.
Yes,
little
FGOC.
It
Very
better
much
be.
FGOCs. What?
He said it's good.
Okay.
It's great water.
It ain't liquid death. Sorry, buddy.
Curtis is amazing.
It's got a little bit more, that bite.
Well, yeah, because it's sparkling.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so I'm curious.
This is mountain.
Oh.
All
Okay.
right, so
Yeah.
can we talk a little bit about this?
Sure.
Take a pause from Whiskey Fest for just a second.
Do we have to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Everybody hates it. All right. So, what was the process like doing it with Still Austin? Did y'all go and do it there, or was it a sample pack?
We had actually talked to James, and me and him had been talking about this over the last year, really wanting to get out there and actually do a pick. And we were talking at the clay shoot.
Yes.
And so we had just decided to do it through samples. And then, get it out there. We wanted to have it by Whiskey Fest to be able
Wait
to
a minute,
release
which one's
it.
that one?
That's Still Austin.
Okay. It's just it's the regular whiskey though. It's not the rye, right?
Correct. This is bourbon.
Yeah, it's called bourbon.
It's bourbon.
It's made with corn.
If you
instead
didn't
of
know,
rye.
bourbon has to be 51% corn,
Yeah.
aged in a new charred.
Why is he
thing.
being so douchey towards you?
You started it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
I was thinking about.
yes, we know we have
blue
the
corn?
cast strength.
No,
rye.
I have the cash strength rye that I got from.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
why I
this
was looking at it kind of like. Oh,
This
I've
is
seen
our,
that.
and I think, so one thing I'm
Y'all
not
can
sure
both go
of,
to hell.
can
okay?
you,
You
I don't
especially.
know if you can pick a rye, like,
Goddamn Frodo
do they
Baggins.
give you a choice between,
That'd be fun.
Are there store pick ryes out there? Have y'all seen them?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
have not.
Yeah, it's just a bourbon.
The cast strength rye just came out in 2023, so they'll probably get there.
yeah.
But I know they just released the 2023 cast strength rye this year.
Bilbo, you got to go
past
pee
year.
again?
No,
But that was done off of sample bottles.
Okay.
But
wagons.
the goal is this next year is definitely to get out there. I'm a huge fan of what Still Austin's
Oh, I
doing.
love what Still Austin does.
I fit in a suitcase.
He was an extra from The Hobbit, so
So-
that's why he fits in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Just real quick, this is Still Austin single barrel
Frodo's
cast
stunt
strength.
double right there.
Coming in at 58% alcohol by volume, which equals 116 proof. Barrel dumped on September 13th, 2023. Barrel number, a whole bunch of numbers. This is 70% corn, 25%
Why didn't you
rye,
read all the numbers?
and 5% malted barley, aged at least 2 years.
Read the damn numbers.
Oh, you want to know the barrel number?
Sure.
202000522-6.
Bingo.
You sounded like me
Read
drawing
the
one of the
numbers. Yes.
winners the other night.
You do a great job. I want you to know that.
Yes, you do a very good job.
I was trying to
You're
have
fabulous.
some pauses on
Yes.
before that last number to get people
much.
like,
And I didn't realize how many people crowded around the table when you
I
were
know,
doing that.
yeah.
I was like trying to squeeze it. Like I just wanted one or two little pictures of you.
yeah.
It's really hard because everybody was like crowding around the table, and I'm like, please, just one time.
Why,
Hello.
why didn't you put on your precious and just sneak by everybody like the hobbit that you are?
Screw you.
I mean, shit.
And great prizes that were won out
my
there.
gosh,
Some
yes.
guns,
Yes, very much
some,
so.
some bottles of whiskey,
Yes.
For the ladies.
purses,
I know
That was a
both of
good
them. I
touch.
know all the wives. are
custom
extremely-
cowboy hat. Somebody want a custom hat?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did
Yes.
get a photo of the cowboy hat winner.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was big cheesing.
And
I'm shocked.
like what I love is the one of the shotgun winners. They were a volunteer.
That was a nice
They
shot,
were
by the way.
they were there as you know, we've got great friends at the Chamber of Commerce, Beaumont
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce, and they provided us some volunteers.
Tony Valentine would comment on
And
that, by the way.
he
Go ahead,
was
read it.
he was if you walked into Whiskey Fest, he was one of the guys that was giving you your Glencairn when you walked in.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bought some raffle tickets just to help support the cause.
Right.
And when's the weather?
And then won a Weatherby
Shut the
shotgun.
front door. That's
Won a
really
Weatherby
good.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I was super
Right.
jealous.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
And
I was jelly.
I've seen him at some of the wine and whiskey events I've done around the city, and so I couldn't be happier that. Look, I want everybody that's willing to part with some of their hard-earned money to purchase a raffle ticket or. Look, I'm pulling for everybody. It's the worst feeling in the world, staring out at everybody else that's all staring at you like, call my fucking number.
You mean you don't imagine people in their underwear like everybody else does?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like when we did the raffle at the Beaumont store.
That was fun, by the way.
Like there's just 200 people just looking and like begging to call their number. And to see every time you call a number to see the disappointment go from like
not just that. Don't be the asshole that yells out Yahtzee when it's not your number because people look at you funny.
But I think everybody, whether you want to be or not, everybody's a little guilty of it.
Sure.
You get that little
the butterflies
hint of excitement.
Yeah.
Because we started making a joke about like you did awesome, by the way. I just want you to know that before I say this. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
But it was funny because we
heart.
started making fun of you because all of the raffle tickets had the same first like 3 numbers.
Yeah,
like,
they were all like 500s and shit like that.
Whatever it was. Like every
so we started with the
had,
fresh roll, like the first 1,000 tickets.
Like 500. I don't remember what it was. But every one of them was 500 and then it ended however it ended. So of course every time you said something,
sadly for most people.
Yes.
500 and everybody was like, I was like, every one of them has 50. I wanted to be like, Mike, stop saying 500.
I knew everybody started with 50.
Exactly. Whatever the number was, but I was like,
so I'd
bro,
say
you gotta chill.
And then I'd pause, and everybody's like,
yeah, because you don't think about it in the moment.
Let me say, like, and Mike Williams, if you're still on here,
if he's still hanging
Tony
on,
Valentine, we need Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest shirts. That we need to do that tomorrow. Fests. Yeah, we need to do that tomorrow.
I need you to make a challenge.
Hey.
I need you to make a challenge going.
Yeah,
I know
it's something.
That's a pretty good design right there.
Yeah,
I know. He had it on during an interview. We know.
Yeah, I love the Whiskey Fest logo. I love the design of the Whiskey Fest logo, and
y'all can yell at me if y'all need to. I have completely stolen it and used it on like everything we do.
Yeah, we'll be suing you for sure.
That's fine. I'm good with it.
Sure, sue his ass.
I should have asked, but I've completely stolen that logo.
Yeah.
And
they're about to be called the dysfunctional gentleman.
Make sure you very fast. His ass, not me.
But it's a great looking logo. It's very. I like.
Yeah.
And I like the. It's kind of a corally orange color that y'all have kind of chosen as the color accent with the black and the kind of the older school looking logo. Whether it's the tiny little logo, the diamond that y'all use with just the W in it, or the one with the glasses.
Clinking.
Yeah. It's a really good looking logo.
Yeah, I do like it. Mike, Catherine, Anna, one of them came up with that logo last year. I thought they did a tremendous job.
Yes,
I had nothing to do with
228.
that.
228. Yes. Every one of them. 228.
228.
He probably still has nightmares about that.
Yeah. Hey, Mike is still with us.
He is still with us.
Glad you're still with us, buddy. It was really good. And that was another part of it, just having an opportunity to talk to Mike and seeing him run around and have a good time. And then at the after party, I mean, it's nice. It's just really
I mean,
for somebody like Mike and Dennis and you that just there's so much. We know that y'all put in crazy hours. Y'all stayed overnight at a drop. I mean, y'all have done ridiculous things, and to see the smiles on y'all's faces.
Well, Mike understands. We both understand, and Dennis understands more than anybody. Like, we are nothing without our customers. We're nothing without the attendees at the. Like, we can put this badass festival on all we want. We can have all these people come, but if we don't have anybody buy tickets,
what if nobody shows up?
What if nobody shows up?
Did y'all ever think about that leading up to year one? Even?
I'm curious. Did you have that thought year one? Now that he mentioned that, I'm very curious.
Yeah,
like what happens?
For sure, year one, you're extremely
You open the
nervous.
door and it's cricket.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
we messed up.
Most of these whiskey fests are happening outside of like the Texas Whiskey Festival, which is at in Bee Cave, which is not far outside of Austin, correct?
Correct.
Right. So most of these are centered around metropolitan areas that has a pretty big crowd to draw from. We're in Beaumont.
Right.
And so and I think that's what makes this so special is that we're able to do what we've done in Beaumont.
Yes.
Like, it's insane. Like,
Oh,
it
it's
really
nuts.
is crazy that I honestly believe that if not the biggest whiskey festival in the entire country is happening in Beaumont, Texas.
That's amazing to
You
me.
know.
Just to say that out loud is
Yeah.
what amazes me to no end.
And so, and beyond that, we just finished year 2. Like,
And the heights you will climb, my friend.
Knowing Mike Williams and his forward thinking, and I'm always trying to make everything work to, bring the vision to a reality. Like, just imagine where we could be in year 10, year 5, year 10, moving forward with this event. This event's not going anywhere.
Year 50.
It's for a badass cause.
Very much,
that
yes.
we will always support no matter what. And as long as we can keep bringing great whiskey to the masses and bringing people together, Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest will live forever at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
And this may whatever, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Nobody cares. I don't care.
God.
At this point, I don't even give a shit.
Where the shit are you going?
So-
What are you doing?
And you say, and I 100% agree. Obviously, if none of us buys tickets, you'll have got nothing. So yes, 100% on the people showing up. But I also would like to say, your employees are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that they show up and work this event and love it. Had a blast hanging out with Eric and Jeff and everybody, James, at the Friday night dinner. It's funny seeing Eric sprint by me, like holding bags of ice or whatever he's doing, because he's on the move the entire night, Saturday night. Kind of made fun of him because
them
he was
stubby
sweating.
legs.
I mean, sprinting maybe
But-
a little bit.
Okay,
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he was.
walking swiftly.
Walking swiftly. There we go.
But he and me and him had kind of started talking about a little bit of everything. And one of the first questions he asked me, because he knew Jake came in from out of town.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What did Jake think about the fest?
Huh.
And I told how awesome is that, first and foremost, that he remembered and he wanted to ask that question because he cares.
I mean, Jake was rolling with us.
but-
I mean,
And something I said, and I 100% mean this. He absolutely loved it, and he'll echo that. He's already planning another trip to Texas, and he's already wanting to come to 2025.
Yes.
But the other part of that is a couple people that I've met the same way that I met Jake have already messaged me as well.
Yeah.
From out of town, from out of state. Let me
Yes.
say that, and say they regret not getting
not
tickets
coming.
to this
Yes.
year. So there's people from not Texas and further out than what you probably think that are planning on being at 2025.
You need
Yeah.
more. You need more.
I
Tickets.
want you to understand, like, this thing is like going to be a bigger thing because I have people telling me now after watching the pregame show that they regret not coming to this year.
Bring in the house.
And I told Eric, look, I'm going to do everything in my power to blow this thing up,
Oh, for
or I'm
sure.
going to die trying.
Yeah.
I believe in this event that much.
We love this event.
Yeah, we know you guys do, and you've been with us since year 1, and will continue to be there. And
Does that make us OG status?
yeah,
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
But it's not even about that. Like, I don't even if
I'm
we
just-
stop doing the show or whatever the case may be. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
This is
well,
something
after I sue y'all, it will be done. But
Clearly.
yeah, y'all
Sue
can
him.
still come.
I don't design shit. He designs everything.
No,
Sue
I-
his ass.
And look, Bucky, you hit on something that really is, the more eyeballs we can bring to this event, the more people we can bring in, the more we can do for cure rare disease.
Yes.
And so
number one, yes.
that y'all know Mike Williams. We're not complacent people.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And so
Not even close.
we're in infancy stages.
Yes, and
infancy. Like, we're just now learning how to walk.
Yeah,
And you're
for sure.
And the thing about
absolutely,
it is, you're
Yeah.
murdering
killing it.
Yeah.
But I said that to expand on what you were saying. We're doing that. Y'all are doing this in Beaumont, Texas,
Yeah.
not Louisville, Kentucky, Frankfort, Kentucky, wherever, Tennessee. You're not doing it there. You're doing it in Beaumont, Texas.
That's 'cause it's a
and it
Texas
needs to
thing.
be, and it should be a destination event.
Yeah.
It will be.
Right.
A destination
And if the
event.
city of Beaumont can't stand behind that or see it, I guess
I
is
don't
the
know.
way.
I don't know if you
If
saw
they don't
this,
see that,
but I know one of the one of the dignitaries, the mayor was
like
there.
this needs to
I don't
be
know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But
the
I mean,
mayor was there.
that's-
Judge Brannick was there.
That's a big deal. Like
The city manager was there.
Yes.
people are gonna be coming from not Texas even.
Kyle Hayes, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think
People are going to come from. Look, it's what the vision was to make it a destination event, to bring tourism dollars into Beaumont.
Yes.
Hotels.
Yes.
Restaurants.
Yes.
Bars. People don't come in just Saturday for this event. Come in Friday. And that's why we have no clue yet to what it's going to expand. I could see this getting to a 3-day event.
That would be awesome because now you are talking Kentucky Bourbon Fest levels,
right?
Because that's a 3-day event.
Yeah, and so we don't know. And I say some of those things, and Mike's probably yelling at his computer right now, like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah, please shut the fuck up. Stop it.
No, but think about how cool would it be to bring
I'm
people?
I'm gonna get a message,
kind of like what Bucky did. Okay, so Bucky and we're gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. Bucky and Jake met up on, what was it, Friday? During the day. I had to work. Shocker.
Yeah.
They toured your Longhorn store on Dallin. That's where they went.
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. I got a phone call.
Yeah.
Did you
Imagine
really?
that, yeah. Oh, he always gets a phone call.
My bad, dog.
You think he doesn't get a phone call anytime one of us walk in?
They're looking for this bottle.
Yeah. He knows that. This is the great and powerful Oz is what this is. Oz.
My bad, dog.
We know all that goes on.
My bad, dog. But and going back to kind of what I was saying about your employees and how awesome.
Look at what Jennifer just said. Yeah.
People from Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met people.
So anybody that doesn't know
Nuts.
Jennifer's with Brown Foreman. She is freaking fantastic. Like Brown Foreman just continues to support us and kill it in every way they can.
They've had literally one of the best dressed booths the last 2 years.
And you don't see in other Whiskey Fest in Houston, you don't see Brown Foreman there. That is a massive freak. That's Jack Daniels. That's
talking
Woodford
about
Reserve.
Brown Foreman.
That's Old Forester.
Yes.
Those are the who's who of Texas. Kentucky
and they
bourbon.
don't just show up.
Yeah.
They show out.
Bottles.
Yeah,
on bottles.
Yes,
on
show
bottles.
out.
They walk in with a little bit of swag, like Conor McGregor. They got that Conor McGregor strut coming in. And
it
they
literally
know.
took me
walk
5
into Whiskey
minutes.
Fest like that next
whenever
year.
I went mobile, it took me 5 minutes to make it all the way down their damn booth.
They brought a van into the arena
I said it on the pregame show. I was like, "There's a van over there. I don't think it's probably not going to be in here during the show.
Oh, no,
they're probably unloading." No. They brought a van into the Civic Center.
Yeah.
They live in a van down by the river. Yes.
Yeah.
But their booth last year was outstanding.
booth
This
phenomenal.
year was outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
They bring it every year.
Man, I love the fact that some of these booths are very elaborate. Like we talked about, Brown Foreman, elaborate booth. Donis and them at Garrison Brothers with a freaking probably 20-foot whiskey bottle. Who does that kind of shit?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. You literally look at it and it's like, where do you go? How do you top this?
When you said this, I went back to a conversation I had with Elena last year, and she's like, can we bring like a 20-foot whiskey bottle? And I'm like, do what? Like,
right?
And my pea-sized
I'm
brain thinking at the time, like, I'm not even thinking inflatable. I'm like,
wait.
oh, that's a lot of glass.
How do you fill that up?
How do you pour it? How do you pour it's the understatement. How do you
I need to get a crane?
What are you going to do? We're going to open up part of the roof's going to retract. We're going to lower this 20-foot bottle down.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So, and obviously, Diageo 2 years in a row, they've had
a
good-looking booth. And
Very much so.
I mean, I feel like a lot more people this year kind of really leaned into the booths, like trying to dress it up. And I think we'll see, obviously, Mike's already referenced the Longhorn booth for this next year.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there. If Mike needs 2 guys to judge best dressed booth, I mean, I feel like we could do that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think the booths matter at this event.
I think they do too.
Because it was really hard for me to figure out what to take a picture of. Like, it's because the last probably 45 minutes to an hour, I had my camera with me, and as I was walking up to the booth, even if they didn't go like super elaborate like Brown Forman or Garrison Brothers or Diageo, the bottles that were on the table, the people,
the pageantry of it,
and I'll tell anybody.
I was asking, do you mind? Like I was grabbing their bottles and just like moving them and setting them up because I was like, I don't know how to take a picture of everything that you're trying to show to
I feel
them.
like one of these days somebody could
Probably like somebody's gonna be like, puh,
yeah, no,
bad dog.
What are you doing?
And just worth, I mean, obviously the price of admission to one of those classes in the Nature's Room is free.
Yes.
But a singular reason to go up there for that class is just, if anybody's not been up there, one wall is nothing but window overlooking the main floor.
Very much.
And it's stunning when you get up there and everybody's in the building and you're looking down, especially for me. I don't know if Mike made it up there this year, but I know when I went up there for the first time this year, getting ready for the Garrison Brothers class, and I just looked down, I was like, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, you have that aha moment more or less when you're up there.
It's truly special.
So Eric allowed me the opportunity to go up there during.
Love you, Jennifer, for sure.
Yes, definitely. But I had the opportunity to go before the event started. Eric brought me up there and was like, hey, if you want to get a picture of all the booths and stuff, really cool view. But I kind of wish I would have been able to stop and ask, hey, Mike or hey, Eric or whatever, can I go run up there real quick while the event's going on? Because I can imagine like looking over all of it and being like, yep. Yeah.
I mean, and from that vantage point, that's on the third floor, not even the second. I mean, it was hard to feel. I'm God.
This is it.
Yeah.
He is the whiskey god, everybody.
It didn't even take 7 days or nights.
Mike's bringing a wireless mic next year, and he's going to be like, hello, everybody. Look up.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be standing at the window.
Mike brought up a good point in the chat there, too. Would love to know economic impact on the city. Lots of people spending money around this event.
Oh, my God. Yes, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know that we could ever really put a figure on that, but we went to Pour 09 and we had a great turnout. But there's a lot of people that, probably maybe went to some different bars around the area or went to get a bite to eat, and the hotel dollars that they're spending.
Yep.
It's really something. I mean, it goes back to, it benefits cure rare disease. That's what's
number one
at the top of the billing for us. But when you see everybody else that it impacts, and bringing dollars to local businesses, which is, let's be honest, it's been a tough year for business, for local businesses.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if we can just make even a small little impact on the bottom line of those local businesses, it
matters.
Yeah, it matters. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You the man.
Man.
You the man. Oh, but kind of that's what I was saying. Like, y'all as employees are freaking awesome. And it's amazing that they go out there and they work and the things that they're willing to do for y'all. That says a lot. But Friday, while we were at Longhorn, Grace and Charmaine were there, and obviously it's always great to talk to them.
I love those two ladies. They're awesome.
But the pure excitement from Charmaine, knowing that she was going to be at Whiskey Festival this year, was so cool. So I was like, so are you working or are you going? And she was like, well, I think I have to work, but I don't care. I get to be there this year.
Oh, she was,
genuinely excited about being at an event.
Yes.
That the company she works for is helping put on. Like,
yes.
Knowing it's a work event, she's still like, I get to be there.
So one of the nightmares, I hate to say nightmare, but something I have to deal with leading up to Whiskey Fest is the number of employees requesting to go to Whiskey Fest.
Oh, darn.
And, at the end of the day, we still have 12 stores.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, somebody's still got to run the ship here.
So
somebody's still got to run it.
I know y'all get to see the employees that are out there, and I appreciate the kind words. We love our employees, and trying to create an atmosphere where, these employees, they feel as invested as we are. But for the ones that don't get to go, that are still back there doing the hard work for Longhorn.
Right.
It's a team effort, and look. I'll tell Mike, and I'll tell Dennis, and I'll tell anybody that wants to listen. We're nothing without our employees. We are absolutely nothing without our employees.
100%.
That sucks. They went to Taco Bell?
And y'all have got some good ones.
Yeah, we do have some good ones.
But
yeah.
I love the fact that, like,
my boy Luke Cobb jumping in the chat.
With
drivers
big
made a
thing,
killing. Yeah, I
you,
bet.
you say this and you're like, we have people requesting to be there. I made a joke with Nick and Greg and James from Texas Tel. I said, hey, where's Boss Lady? That's what I refer to Lainey as every time I talk to her. And he's like, well, somebody had to run to the distillery. I'm like, so you made it her? I feel like you could have made it somebody else but her.
Right.
Like, she would have had a blast at the event.
Yeah. Our manager from our Heights store, Cody Rogers, was there with his fiance.
Nice.
If anybody knows her, name's Kat Salome, Girl Gone Grillin' on Facebook and Instagram. Has over 7 million followers.
How did we get to that number?
I was talking to Cody and Kat, and these 4 guys walked up, and they immediately recognized Kat, and they're like, what are you doing here?
Kind of like the moment I had with Donna's Todd. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And so, man, we're blessed, is all I can say. We're incredibly blessed with our employees. I'm even more incredibly blessed with the owners and you know, so it's surreal. It's truly, I mean,
it's very surreal.
It's crazy. I woke up, I told Mike this, I woke up Monday morning, so Sunday I was worn out. Everybody seems to be dealing with like some sort of upper respiratory stuff going on right now. I was dealing
with all week.
And Sunday I woke up and I was not feeling good at all. And me and Jamie just stayed around the house.
The weekend prior to Whiskey Fest, I was like, God, please let me get over this in time.
So Sunday I was just kind of like, well, I'm glad I don't have to work today. I don't have anything from Whiskey Fest. But Monday, I truly woke up and I was a little depressed. Like, I mean, just because so much goes into it, and then it's like, it's over, and it's like, okay, we got another year, you know. But
one more year.
But
you say you got another year. I mean, can we do it twice a year?
No,
God no.
I don't think no. I don't think we'll ever do that because.
But I do like the idea of going to like a 3-day event at some point. Like,
right,
I think that's kind of a cool.
But what makes it all so special is it is once a year. You know,
that's true. That does make it special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason you do Whiskey Fest.
It's Whiskey Christmas,
right?
But when I met with Mike on Monday, and we were up at the office, and he's already talking about 2025.
By the way, I still hadn't toured the office.
Oh man, it's
that was what surprised me the most. Whenever me and Anna were talking, and she kind of filled me in on the dates for next year, I was like, that was my first initial response was, "Fuck, that was fast."
Yeah.
Like, how are y'all already? She was like, "We don't waste no time."
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my, that's ridiculous. Like, you're already, how? Why?
Yeah.
Take a break.
Man, it's.
But I was blown away that, like, 2 days later, here we are, and we've already got dates for next year. You're already working on it. I was like, God dang, these guys are awesome.
Yeah. It's, it takes a lot, and you know, when you set the bar high, you got to continue to try to improve upon that. And so it takes a lot of planning. So for everybody that's out there that's even questioning whether they want to go to 2025,
don't think.
Yeah. Like, just go. I'm going to do you a favor now. Just go. And let me tell this to everybody that's listening, and tell all your friends, and put it out there on social media. When we release VIP tickets, get your damn ticket.
Don't walk, run.
Because they are going to sell out fast.
Yeah, because I've sold out VIPs the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, this year,
sold out
like we sold out very quickly. And
I sold out before.
As soon as we announced, and maybe even on this show, had made that announcement that VIPs were sold out, I believe.
Yeah. When you came on the second time, I think it was, whenever we were talking about all this, you literally announced it on air. There are like 5 tickets left.
That's correct.
And I'm pretty sure by that evening it was sold out.
Yeah.
Like, it was That's how fast it was.
That was on a Friday evening. That Saturday morning, we had, and he was there at the event. One of our customers, local customers, came into the Beaumont store and was like, I heard last night y'all had, and I'm like, and at that moment, I think that next morning there was 4.
Yeah.
And he got on and he bought 2 of them.
Really?
And then they were done.
Yeah.
And so, and then I got all these phone calls, people that had procrastinated. And it's like, hey.
And that's the cool thing about the event is that when you sell out of VIP tickets, you're done with VIP.
Well, one thing that we try to do with the VIP, and it goes back to the other events that we have been part of previously, talking about the space on the aisles and how tight that is at some of the events. We've been to these events where I personally, one event I bought VIP tickets, another event me, Mike, and Dennis went to in Chicago where we had VIP tickets, and the entire attendee crowd was VIP. Like, I felt like there was...
It's not VIP at that point.
Right. There was no value to that. I went to one in Houston and bought a VIP ticket and got in line and stood in line for an hour and a half, and by the time I got in the building, I should have just bought a general admission ticket.
Yeah.
We will probably increase VIP tickets this next year, but it will not be a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
We are trying to give our VIP people that experience of having a VIP ticket.
That I enjoyed it. Like I would do it again because this year, for year 1, we went in with general admission.
Yes.
Year 2, we went in with VIP.
Yep.
Excuse me. 100% worth it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
The intimate atmosphere that VIP offered was completely different than walking in with general admission.
Very much so.
Yeah.
There were, I don't know how many y'all sold, but there was not a whole lot of people in there. I got an opportunity to see people that I actually wanted to talk to.
Yep.
And I had a chance to actually talk to them, attendees, friends, reps, whatever the case may be, and it truly does afford you an opportunity to try some of the things that you'll never get to try again.
Yep.
Pappy's and Heaven Hill 20s and Parker's Heritage and and Rio. That was probably one of the most popular pours.
Yes.
I mean, he literally had this much left by the time general admission tickets were coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you play that ticket right, okay, let me lay this out. You get in at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. You have a whole hour to that building. Not to yourself, but
basically,
it feels like
yeah.
to yourself.
Yeah.
And then when that's 6 o'clock and we're getting all those general admission people in the door, it's a perfect time to go get
eat.
the food.
Yes.
and that's what we did.
And go outside.
Yes.
And you get to see Ethan Osborne playing.
Yes.
And you get to hang out there. And then by the time all the general admission people are making their way through, and now they're trying to find the food, now you can go back inside and do round 2. And it's like, the outside, man, the way that's evolved
is awesome.
is unbelievable. It's everything going on inside. That's what it's about. Obviously, It's a whiskey fest. But I told so many people this: if you had a general admission ticket that you paid $129 for, I go watch live music around this area any chance I possibly can get.
Of course, yeah.
I go to Buxton's any chance I possibly can get. And you could, if you did nothing else, but you went out and watched Ethan Osborne and Pug Johnson and the Hounds, and you drank Buxton beer, which is free. Like, I've heard that afterward. People were like, "Well, I didn't understand that the beer was free out there." Like it's free.
Why?
I would easily pay $130 sitting in a
Just
bar
for that.
drinking beer and watching live music. And that's like the sideshow to this event.
Because I think we made our way out there about 6:30.
Roughly, yeah.
After all the, general admission was coming in, we made our way out there about 6:30. We got our food. We sat down. We all ate. We all talked. We listened to the music. And you're right. It's like the perfect, like if you're doing VIP, that's like the perfect segue.
Yeah.
Because last year, we didn't spend a whole lot of time outside. We didn't get an opportunity to really listen to Pug Johnson or experience a lot of the outside area.
Right.
Well, this year I did.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to be able to do something like that. Like, hang out, talk to people that maybe you didn't get a chance to talk to because everybody was crammed in there walking around just wanting to drink whiskey. Well, now you're standing outside, it's more open. You've got good music in the background. People are grabbing beer, smoking cigars, and it's more relaxed. Yeah. There's not the hectic, ooh, got to try that one. Wait, hold on. Don't talk to me. I got to go get that one real fast.
Plus, we have a blacksmith out there.
No, that dude
just banging away on some metal.
Yeah, watching that dude was cool.
Like when we were getting everything set up, and we're thinking about how much power we need run out there and getting it all ran out there, and it's like, well, what about? No, I don't need power. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know
that you need electricity for. That guy's just banging away on metal out there, and like it's.
If you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. I had to bust him with it, but no, y'all did I'm not gonna lie, y'all did a good job, and I love the fact that, like I said, year one we got to kind of do it more as a spectator, more or less. Mm-hmm. And year two we quote unquote worked the event. Yeah, I loved both experiences.
Yeah, they're equally as fun, yes. and it gets back to what I said earlier. Although people like me and Mike don't get to enjoy the event as much because we're still in this, this mode of making sure everything goes off without a hitch.
How do we get you to that point? That's what I'm curious on.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
How do we get him to the point to where he can actually enjoy the event? Is year 3 that year?
No. I don't know if it's possible.
No,
to be honest with you, I mean, and I want it,
Mike
but
Wright.
At the same time, like
as long as he wears our hoodie, I don't care what he
it's just as important to me. I mean, it's obviously way more important to me to make sure that the event goes off without a hitch, and that we're able to sit down after the fact and have all these great people join in with chat with us, and we can sit here and have this conversation. And you could put 1,000 people, of the same 1,000 people that showed up to the event, you could put them in that chat, and I'd be hard pressed, except for the motherfucker we talked about earlier, about something that didn't, how it went wrong or what. Like it is truly a one of a kind event.
Agreed.
And so
I was looking at the snaps on your hat. You and I could not be more further away.
Oh
from
God,
the
I know.
opposite.
I probably could go one more.
Yeah, the sad thing about it is you have all of them but 2 filled. I have 2 of them filled, and that's it.
So
big ass head.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm just gonna keep pouring shit until y'all tell me to stop. No. Since they're still watching, I want to quick shout out to Distillery Reviews. This is the bottle that I won in their giveaway. Oh. It's a William Price straight rye whiskey, finished in French oak. Comes in at 124 proof.
Nice.
Age 6 years, 1 month. And this was picked by the Bourbon Hounds of Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Facebook group over there that we've done some stuff with and releasing some of their picks.
Boy, I had a good pop.
So
I haven't had a chance to try it, obviously.
Interesting.
As I fresh crack it. Does anybody else want to pour?
Yes.
Yeah, let me finish up what I got going on here.
I mean, and my infatuation with rye whiskey in 2023.
Your newfound infatuation with rye whiskey?
It was 2023 was definitely the year of the rye whiskey for me.
You're welcome.
I feel like 2024 is going to be the year of the American single malt.
God,
for you.
Yes,
not.
My man.
I mean, you spoke pretty highly of some Balcones earlier.
Balcones is, and I'm admitting that. There's something different about Balcones and their single malt.
What? So let me ask you.
Come on, that Westland pick.
But if Mike Wright keeps making dumb comments like that, people are going to tune in to watch his fight.
What does Andalusia need to do to get
bring your boxing gloves?
That's what I need to know. What does Andalusia need to do to get you to like their stuff?
I don't know. I need
striker. Mike and I have had this conversation before. Their striker is good.
Because I did.
Their Revenant Oak is next level good.
Every time. Anytime I see him out there, I do it. I visited Mario at his booth. The same way I visit everybody else that I know and love.
You mosey over to him.
I love and I've said this before on the show. I love Andalusia. I love their story. I love what they're doing. I love all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to, and I try, but there's a difference in whatever the frick Balcones is doing versus literally everybody else. And it's weird because Andalusia is a Texas single malt. Mm-hmm. Balcones is a Texas single malt. Mm-hmm. Why? obviously we know the peated thing that Andalusia does. I'm never going to like it, just flat out. But why can I not like their American single malt, but I like the Balcones one? There's something different. And you asked about the Westland pick. Again, as soon as you poured it and you didn't tell us what it was, I knew it was an American single malt.
That was super good, by the way. I don't
the
care
Courage
what
and
he says
Conviction
about it.
finished in a bourbon cask.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you get a little bit of the bourbon sweetness, but again, on my palate, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm trying, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know.
But I don't know.
It's just because you're inexperienced. And so.
You're like that 15-year-old that just found his wang for the first time.
I don't want to be here no more. But so, Ryan and Jake.
I'm here to do cowboy shit. That's all I'm here to do.
There was a bottle from, and Jake will tell me, Clonakilty? Clonakilty.
Yes.
Clonakilty.
So Clonakilty does.
They hated. By the way, they hated me because I could not figure out how to say that name. I kept saying Clonakilty.
Clonakilty.
It's exactly what I said. But the story that they was and how it all came together. But they finished it or did it, aged it, however, in Garrison Brothers barrels.
Cowboy
barrels.
Yeah. Oh, that was really cool.
Yeah, and that's That's an Irish whiskey.
Yes.
So
Irish.
I tried it again. Not sure what the whole hullabubb was about, but Ryan and Jake absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Cool story.
Yeah.
Love the idea of it.
Yeah.
Awesome that they do it in Garrison and they're working together and all that good stuff. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It's
but it was a fantastic pour. They weren't the only ones that said they loved it.
It's fantastic bottle. The reason that bottle's in even some of our stores is because I tried it.
Oh shit! Yes. Cheers, Distillery Reviews. I
Yes.
will try it before y'all get
Very
off. I talk too much. I'm not gonna have a voice again tomorrow. Watch.
Well, it's a weekend. You don't need one.
Andalusia made a distillery exclusive that's a coconut porter distilled.
Oh, my
What the
God.
hell?
Wow.
Coconut porter distilled. That
Yeah.
makes me think of, and I know you're a craft beer guy, so I can drop this on you real quick. There's a company out of Dallas called the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
That does a coconut porter, and when I was at Flow Fest, that thing flew off.
Yeah. Yeah, Manhattan
Super
Project's done some good beers. We've had
Yes.
some of their stuff in the stores.
Super good stuff. It's good, man. They did a good job with that rye. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Bro.
It's fine. You got your first chubby yet? Just checking. I think you're there. Go ahead. Swish it. Waft it. Whatever you got to do with it.
That's a winner.
It's a good one.
Yeah, this is.
They did a good job with this one.
Yeah, I believe MGP.
Yes,
Rye.
it is.
Yeah, which is, anybody that knows MGP knows their rye whiskey is freaking fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a damn good pick.
One of the
That is a-
one of the best rye whiskeys out there, in my opinion, is any MGP rye.
Bourbon Hound's a huge.
I don't know. I don't personally know anybody with the Bourbon Hounds.
I'm
of
gonna have to
Houston.
get on to that. And figure
No,
it out.
I saw Chuck though say.
Yeah, Chuck did say
Chuck
Kyle with the Hounds is my boy.
Kyle Booker. Chuck Bradley. Look at that.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic pick. Distillery Reviews, thank you for sharing this bottle with me.
Very
It is
good.
fantastic. That is going to immediately go into the rotation quickly, like very, very quickly. That's a good one.
Good. It should.
Very good.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Very nice.
I got one a lot.
Very nice.
Any other
God, I don't know.
questions from the viewers about Whiskey Fest or? Man, I'm an
So-
open book.
Charlie, yeah. If y'all have any questions,
By all means,
please
yes.
throw them in. That's what this is all about. Like, I know we keep
Yeah.
asking questions, but if y'all have any questions, if there's anything you want to know, now's the time to ask them. Whether it's about what happened this year, leading into next year, whatever the case may be. If you want to throw out a few
Ooh, I got one for you.
ideas, if you want to throw out like what your favorite booth was, what you want more of, whatever the case may be, please. Now's the time.
If you could add anybody that wasn't at year one or year two, who would it be?
Wow.
Beam Suntory, I think, would be.
Beam Suntory's there, and somebody
No,
said,
you're right, never
yeah,
mind. I'm
Big
sorry.
Chief said
They
something earlier about wanted to see Jim Beam products there.
Yeah,
Basil,
no, they were there. I'm sorry.
Basil Hayden was being poured
Yes.
this year. Knob Creek was at their booth last year. They also own Makers, so that's always going to be a staple.
Yep.
And I like their little setup. Like it's not like
Beam Suntory.
Because I'm not gonna lie, there's
it's not super elaborate, but it's simple enough, and it's not. It's very clean.
There's two.
I like their
There's
little
two whiskeys that, because you know me, I always try to look at backstories with companies, and there's two that I'm interested in this year alone. And I know they probably won't make it to Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest, but it's just two that are on my radar. So the first one, I don't know if you heard about this or not. It's called Fat Baby. It's out of New York.
I've had some of them.
Fat Baby?
No, like just fat babies.
No. So it's out of New York, and the backstory behind it is great because their daughter,
Hope they're not listening.
No, I don't think they are. I just started following them today.
No, I'm
'cause I
talking
read
about my
their
kids.
Yeah, I said that's what I was thinking. I'm going to clip this and send it to them.
So their daughter, their young infant daughter, had a stroke and has had several health complications. And she keeps beating everything that's thrown at her. So they started an actual company about it. They're out of New York. They're kind of on my radar. Another one you and I talked about in a private conversation was 15 Stars. That's one that we talked about. Ooh. Yeah. I know. Iron Root, yeah. Smoke Wagon.
So
Jamie's telling the kids, by the way.
Charlie, less Scotch booths.
More Scotch.
Less Scotch.
I agree with Charlie.
Luke said, "Where was Iron Root?"
So
let's start there. Where was Iron Root?
So I had a conversation with Iron Root just leading up to Whiskey Fest, and it was something that they had some previous engagements this year.
Gotcha.
I feel pretty confident that there's somebody that will be there for year 3.
Nice.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Chuck said Smoke Wagon. I think that would be.
I would love to have Aaron Shepnick in the building because that dude is amazing.
So Smoke Wagon was supposed to be poured that night. Aaron was not going to be there. That's somebody that, with y'all's relationship with them, also Clint out of Midland.
I was going to say, don't say our relationship, Clint.
Right.
Yeah, Clint.
Shout out Clint, because that dude, he hooked us up that
That's
night.
somebody that not only would I like to have their brand represented next year, but I'd like to have him personally. I think that'd be awesome. I absolutely loved. I thought it was one of the best episodes y'all have ever done was y'all's interview with Aaron. I thought that was fantastic. I'd love to have that guy.
He was a good guy.
I'd love to have him back on. Like,
So Smoke Wagon would both of those are right up there. Nathan, welcome in, Nathan. Good buddy of mine, 13 Colony. I mean, they obviously did have a hype wave this year.
we're gonna skip skip that one.
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about it.
High West was that's definitely one that we've done a lot with in the
High West
terms
was
of
out there.
if they were I know I'm one of the ones that helped put this on. When everybody shows up and what they're pouring, I don't even know everybody. I mean, at that moment,
I'll have to go back through my pictures. There's a lot.
This festival,
shocked.
A lot of the responsibilities or duties to put this on, we split those up. And
I love Luke's comment though with the whole Longhorn and the festival need a merch booth. I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like it's a legit thing.
I know Mike's already referenced the booth coming.
Yes.
Just
stay tuned.
Yeah, y'all stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Go there. How soon can we expect things to start being announced this year? Because I think
you'll see some things in
year one. So let's kind of
I'm gonna say
review. Year one, I think you came on starting in October, and we kind of started talking about it.
Yep.
Year 2, you came on a little bit sooner than that. For the very first episode, we kind of started talking about it.
Yep.
And then you came on again in October, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So we've kind of gotten a little bit sooner. Can we expect more announcements sooner?
I think
going into year 3, or can we kind of expect September to kind of be that kickoff month?
Yeah, when we start releasing information out there, timing is important to us. We want to get people jazzed, but we don't want to get them jazzed too early.
Right.
We want to, when you start releasing information, you're releasing information to create a little bit of buzz that hopefully will get people to go over and generate ticket sales.
Right.
And so, I think that'll be the first question that will be asked, and we're deciding right now on is when do we release tickets?
Yeah.
And then once we start getting stuff nailed down, we love making announcements. I love coming on here and talking to you guys and making announcements. So I think that I think you will see some stuff a little bit earlier this year. I'm privy to the information that I know what we're working on, and right now there's two people in this. I will say three people in this world that know what we're working on, and so those things start coming to fruition.
I know how much
it's going to be hard for us to keep it under.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like
between Mike Williams and Anna, now that I've gotten a chance to meet her and talk to her, and I know the face behind the Instagram, the Facebook, and all that good stuff. Like, just knowing y'all and having the opportunity, I'm just going to tell y'all now, Mike, Anna, Michael, if you don't want anything announced, don't message me with it.
You notice he said don't message him with it.
Yeah.
So, but yes, that's also like getting to talk to y'all about all this stuff. Knowing who she is now, knowing Mike is so open and honest and wanting to talk about all this stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed that. Like, I'm really excited. I'm glad you came on tonight. Like, it's been really fun. Like, leading up to this episode, even now that Whiskey Fest is over, like this week leading up to the episode has been really fun.
There's two ways to look at it. Like, Whiskey Fest, is Whiskey Fest over, or has year 3 just begun?
Year 3's just begun, my man. That's where I'm at with it.
You saying things like that put a damper on what I thought was a really cool segue into a bottle that you brought, because you brought Booker's, and I said it's like closing a chapter.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Since you brought Booker's.
Yes. And that's what this event is. I mean, this episode tonight.
So we're just turning chapters. We're not closing the book.
Yes. It's
a new chapter.
Yeah. And there's going to be many chapters.
So many chapters.
There's going to be many chapters.
At least.
57. Why 50? That's a weird number.
I don't know. I just felt like saying 57.
Yeah, if there's 57 of these Whiskey Fest, I will probably not be alive for a good chunk of those.
That makes 2 of us. I won't be there.
Yeah.
Charlie chimed in. I hope this grows to the point they have to build a bigger civic center. Love my whiskey bros and sisters for sure.
Love it.
And that's 100%. To pull back the curtain a little bit more. To put on an event like this, you can't just go do this at any venue.
No.
Okay. And it's from a legality standpoint.
Yes.
It matters.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So a lot of people don't understand, and why would they understand the TABC laws to that degree? But we just can't go put this at, any event. We can't go put this at NRG.
Right.
There's certain places that we have to partner with and I mean, that's why the Civic Center has been such a great partner, and we will continue to put it at the Civic Center. And, not saying something doesn't change in the future. Who knows?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Locally, you can't do this at the Montaigne Center. Let's be honest. You can't do it.
Well, the Montaigne Center, I feel like, is not even any bigger than what the Civic Center is.
First and foremost, before we try to even talk about different venues, shout out and thank you to the Civic Center.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I don't
amazing host for the last 2
I don't
years.
even want to talk about a different venue. Like, that's our partner right now. That's
for sure.
That's where when we release that date, January 10th and 11th, it's going to be at the Beaumont Civic Center.
Yeah,
and so, yeah.
But like you said, you can't just run to NRG. And, obviously the one that pops into my head first locally is Ford Park.
Yeah.
I don't think you expect people like me and just everybody else that's going to this event to understand TABC laws and what it would take to move it to a
and understand that Ford Park is one of our customers and clients at Longhorn Liquor. I would love those guys. One of the big guys, their marketing manager from Ford Park, was at the event.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
And so, we love those guys over there, and it gets complicated is where I'll leave it.
You're talking about pouring
Yeah.
hundreds of bottles of whiskey.
Everybody needs to understand that when it comes to this event, and you're talking about me and Mike and Dennis and Wendy and Catherine and Anna, we strive to put on the best, biggest event that we possibly can. Where that goes into the future, we'll see where those roads lead. And we're open to anything and everything if it makes sense. And but right now we couldn't be happier with the partnership we have at the Beaumont Civic Center. It's worked out wonderful these first 2 years. One thing I want to do real quick while it's fresh on my mind is give a shout out to all the attendees. When you put that much whiskey in a building and you put that many people in a building, things could go south very quickly.
Yes.
And for 2 years running, we've had very, very little incident when it comes to just complete, drunkenness or getting, a little sideways. And so I'm very appreciative, not only to the vendors that make this event happen, but the attendees that we have. And it's one of the biggest feedback points we get from our vendors is the attendees and their level of conversation that they're getting engaged with at their particular booth. And so it's what continues to make this event so special is the vendors, they're there for one reason, and that's to market and to bring light to the product that they're selling. And so to be able to bring the customers in there, the attendees, and to be able to create those relationships. And at the end of the night, you have very little, backlash from any of that. It's one of the things I'm most proud of is that how smooth they have ran.
And I can echo, and then while you were talking, I was trying, and for the life of me, and I cannot remember who it was I was talking to, but that was the same exact thing they said. It was one of the vendors. That was the very first thing out of their mouth whenever I asked, how's it going? How are y'all doing as far as everything goes? They were so complimentary of everybody that was there as far as attendees go, and that makes me proud as a Southeast Texan because they said the level of the attendees here tonight has been amazing. There's not a bunch of drunk people running around at some whiskey fests that I go to where it's just let's get as many drinks in as possible.
Right.
Like the people, that was the first thing they said. The people here tonight are amazing. They're coming. They're talking to us. They're taking a sip. They're enjoying
the end of the
event.
day.
They were like, I'm watching everybody.
And brands at the end of the day.
Y'all are all just hanging out, talking. He said, nobody's like drunk, stumbling, fumbling, bumbling around and being a complete asshole, making assholes of themselves. They were like, this is one of the higher class events that they've been to. And I was like,
and again, I've been to a couple of these
in Beaumont.
Yeah,
we fancy.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of these, and it.
That's right. It is. Alley.
Yeah,
right.
Not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but it is.
Well, you should.
With the attendees and that level, like it is incredibly very smooth event. It's very there. There's a lot of stress that goes on with this event, but with the attendees, that doesn't ever enter my mind. I know that we have very respectful people down here. They're genuinely interested in the whiskey. We've got not only y'all's platform here, we have other people, there's so much in this area with people trying to bring people together through the cause of whiskey that it's one of the more special things for me about this event is that we're able to get that kind of feedback from these vendors, and that makes them want to be a part of it. They're not having to deal with a bunch of drunken assholes. They're actually getting to talk to people about their brand and something they're so passionate about.
Well, because a lot of these guys are really like they live it, they breathe it. They look at it as their baby. Like JD's one of those guys that pops out in my mind. That dude lives, breathes, eats Penelope. Like no doubt, he loves it.
Yeah,
Megan with Laws, same way.
Yeah,
lives it, breathes it, eats it.
Yep.
The guys at Texas Tail, they're all in on it. They are nuts.
Well, I mean, when the two guys that show up for Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest for Texas Tell are the owners.
Yes.
I'm not talking about reps. I'm not talking about drink pourers.
No.
The owners of the company showed up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's a big deal. So, something I'm curious of. At what point do you finally go,
You don't.
Is it Friday night, after that, during that? Is it Saturday once the doors are open and you see it? Is it after the event?
It's Sunday morning
When
when
do
he
you
has a cup
finally
of
just
coffee
be able to
is
go-
when it is.
I've told this to a lot of people, and although the release, I don't know that ever comes because for me, I go straight from that event, and whether it's planning for 2025 or what my normal job consists of.
Yeah, because you do still have to do that.
But I will say for me, like the Friday night dinner, there's so many moving parts to that. And we made a big change this year with the Friday night dinner that I talked about it, that y'all got to witness at the Friday night dinner. But last year, for anybody that wasn't there, we had Jennifer and Jamie Bell from Old Forester. They did the hosting that night with during the dinner, pouring of the whiskeys. And we pre-poured. We tasted through the whole Whiskey Rose series, and then we also did Old Forester birthday bourbon. And so that was 5 whiskeys, 250 people in that place. So do the math. That's 1,250 Glencairns. And we had every single one pre-poured. And great time, great event. Saturday night was great. And then I woke up Monday morning to a van full of 1,200 dirty Glencairns.
Oh,
And I was like, whoa, like this, there's got to be a better way.
there's got to be.
So this year, I talked with Mike and Dennis, and I was like, look, I really think that when everybody walked in Friday night, they got a Glencairn so they can go to those back tables and get those special pours. And I was like, we're just going to give everybody that one glass. And then we're going to go around through the tables, through the dinner, and we're going to pour the whiskeys into their glass because last year, for one, we threw away a shitload of whiskey, which is blasphemous.
Very much.
In my...
I take donations.
Yes.
Very
But
much.
once they were pouring those, all 1,250 of those Glencairns, and they were set out on the table, and... and y'all saw what that event was. There's some whiskey drinkers there, but their wives or spouses, whatever, and they may not be into whiskey as much. They don't, but those glasses were already poured. So it's like this year we're going to go through and we're going to pour at the tables.
Yeah.
And I had somebody, I won't mention who, that was involved with Whiskey Fest, not Mike or Dennis, anybody like that told me that absolutely 100% would not work and it would be a disaster.
Really?
And I told him, I was like,
okay,
well, I'm doing it this way.
We're going to try.
And, and that's, and thank, again, why I love Mike Williams, not only as a person and a friend, as a boss. He's like, we don't know till we know. Yeah. And so we did it that way.
So many.
And and Jennifer knows. Like,
so many.
Jennifer, if you ever have any bottles before you throw them away, reach out.
The address is on the Facebook page.
At Undrafted Free Agent on all social media platforms.
So after Friday night.
One of us promotes the show. One of us promotes himself. We see which one is which.
So after Friday night last year with Jennifer and pouring all that, it was, it went incredibly smooth.
Yes.
I had everything for year one on that Friday night built out minute to minute to minute on an itinerary that everybody had a copy of. And at the end of the night, we were 12 minutes behind schedule. And I was like amazing.
Yeah.
12 minutes is it. This year.
There's a flip side to that coin, though.
This year, we were 10 minutes early on our schedule to the point to where I announced, everybody go outside and see Pug Johnson. And then I'm like, I get off stage and I'm beelining it out there.
He's Conor McGregor walking.
Yeah. And Pug's not out there. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Pug was just about 5 minutes away. They were already set up and everything.
Yeah.
And everything went off without a hitch. But
y'all didn't make it it never felt awkward because as we all made our way out there, y'all were bringing out the additional bottles that y'all had at the back tables that y'all had already packed up. Y'all were ready to move.
Yep.
So y'all moved those outside. Y'all were setting those up. People were making way to that table outside to get ready for their pours.
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of mingling. I made fun of Craig because he wouldn't put down his basket of BTAC that he wanted. I was like, hey, don't set that down because if you do, I'm running. And he was like, oh, I'm not putting it down. I was like, good. But, it still felt smooth even y'all were a little ahead of schedule and Pug and the band were probably more or less on schedule, if maybe a little bit behind, but it still felt smooth.
Sure. Yeah.
There was no awkwardness.
Yeah. We didn't lose anybody. Yeah. For me, I was probably a little bit emotional in the moment just because I know how much that we put into playing this.
Right.
And
you want it to go smoothly.
But this event would not be, I feel very comfortable saying this. This event would not be what it's been the last 2 years without Pug Johnson being there. And
just to kind of echo and
I tell you this right now, I'll announce the musical act for next year. Shocker. It's going to be Ethan Osborne and Pug Johnson and the Hounds again.
Fantastic.
Shocked face.
Yes.
Shocked face.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
Keep them coming back.
Yes,
they were great. Loved having them out there.
Yeah.
Loved listening to them. But as an outsider, not being there year one, getting an opportunity to be at year two of the Friday night sponsor dinner, if had you not just told me how the two different nights went as far as Glenn's on the table and versus pours, watching as those waiters and waitresses made their way through the aisles pouring, I'd have assumed y'all been doing this for 5 years because they were on point. Down, around, made the pours, come back, and they were on. Every one of them ended at the same time, and I was like,
yeah,
this is on point.
Yeah,
there was no stumbling and fumbling. They made the rounds, they did what they had to do, and they got back.
Yeah,
it went off without a hit.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's what we hope to happen. When you plan it, but you never know until you get in that moment. Yeah,
250 Glen. There could have been a little bit of weirdness, but as I'm watching, I'd have guessed y'all did it year one and year two because it did. It went smoothly. It went very, very smooth. Y'all did a very good job.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah,
phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So probably the most popular question leading up to year two, and let's kind of look ahead to year three, maybe even year four. Right, I know you and
ambitious.
Right. Hey, we got 57 years of this.
Yep.
57.
If it goes to 50, I'll be 92.
And I think I know where
I needed to go that far.
I think you know where I'm going to go with this. The QR code, the opportunity to purchase bottles through a website moving forward. I know you've previously said y'all want that to be a more streamlined, better process. Is there plans, or is that?
For one,
because I got asked a lot.
Yeah,
I'll tell you now.
And as y'all know, a lot of the bottles that y'all are tasting out there, some of that stuff may not even be available for purchase. They're one-offs that are being brought out there. Let's go back to Friday night with Garrison Brothers and some of that stuff they were pouring Saturday, like the Laguna Madre and the Lady Bird.
And that's why I got a pour of Laguna Madre. I knew I probably won't ever get a bottle. And we all know Laguna Madre is like a $350 bottle. Let's admit that.
I think instead of focusing on that, because I won't say it won't happen, but at the same time, we're not going to make that a function until we know it is perfect. And there are some logistics on the back end to make that run perfect. I think looking back now in hindsight, and obviously with what we've done in the Longhorn liquor stores with the drops and stuff, and hopefully our customers see that we're doing stuff different.
Right.
And so just know that if you went to Whiskey Fest and you tried something and it's part of their core release or something that's a regular release or maybe you had a store pick, you show up at Beaumont on Monday morning and you're going to be able to buy a lot of those whiskeys that you tried out that night. Not saying that we're putting that to bed forever. I'm just saying until we get it figured out to where it's seamless, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and I think it's like for us, for Southeast Texas people, that's easy to say. I could show up Monday morning, say, "Hey, Charmaine, I've tried this bottle. Do y'all have any out here?" No. But for those that are coming in, that somebody said they met somebody from Denver.
Sure.
They met somebody from Alabama. Yep. They, people from Oklahoma are talking about coming in, Chicago, Indiana, blah, blah, blah. I think, so Kentucky Bourbon Fest, and I don't want to keep bringing it up. I know it's like a competition type thing. But
not for us.
They partner with local liquor stores and will have certain items available for purchase. Mm-hmm. And it's a 3-day event. You can easily make your way over there. But for those that show up on a Friday, get to taste on Saturday, they got to leave on Sunday. And in the state of Texas, you can't purchase on Sunday. Now what? They
wouldn't be able to. We legally cannot let people walk out of that building with a purchased bottle of alcohol.
Right.
It's illegal in the state of Texas.
Right.
So regardless, they would not be able to, even if they purchased, we don't ship.
Right.
They wouldn't be able to go pick it up on Sunday.
Right.
So they're in the same boat regardless.
And I just never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It just seems like that would be the...
if there's a way that we can figure it out, whether it's through, but like everybody's got to understand that everybody has different liquor laws throughout this country. And in Texas is some of the most antiquated in the country.
So wait a minute, repeat that one more time.
What do you mean? What?
We cannot sell whiskey. We cannot sell bottles of whiskey at Whiskey Festival to carry out of that building. We can direct you to a Square app, and you can make a purchase through an e-store, but you are still going to be picking up that bottle at a Longhorn Liquor, which would not be open until that following Monday anyways. So, yeah, there's no way around that right now.
No, and that's one of the hardest things to explain. Yeah. Is that because of the
we may be making a trip east of Sabine at some point.
Walk in, say, Mr. Donis Todd, I'd like to go ahead and purchase that. You can't do that.
No.
Not at our event, not here. But I'm just trying to think, like, if you could do, I don't know, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday type thing, I don't know, figure out a way to accommodate those that are coming in for multiple days from out of state. How do we do? I guess I'm trying to think bigger. How do we do that? Because they're only here for a very, very limited amount of time, and they're not going to have an opportunity to purchase said bottles or Longhorn store picks. Mm-hmm. Because if the event's on Saturday, we can't purchase on Sunday. 99% of those people are going to leave Sunday to go back home for Monday. Now they've missed out, and I'm just maybe it's my wheels just kind of trying to turn and figure it out.
But you threw out the term 99%, and I'm not slighting anybody that traveled from out of town. That's ultimately what we're trying to build here,
right?
But most people are still coming from an area where they're local to a Longhorn Liquor.
I'm sorry, 99% of those traveling from out of town.
Yes,
is what I meant.
Right.
99% of the people at the event are probably more local.
I think
or at least within driving distance to a Longhorn Liquor, which has 12 convenient locations.
Yeah. I think the best thing for those people is to contact me, and then we'll go have brunch on Sunday and hang out.
Brunch.
And then they stay around till Monday till they can go into a Longhorn and purchase.
For sure. Yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah.
I like it. Make it an extended weekend.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, if we could set up a mobile store. And just sit there and obviously
pound it.
Yeah. I think y'all know us well enough that we would take full advantage of that.
Jennifer, real quick, I'm sure she's running. Michael Wright and the entire Williams family, thank you guys for this event. I know how much work gets put into it. I'm so happy I get to be a part of it. To many more, Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest. Jennifer, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you, Jennifer, so much. She is one of the like y'all are in the
On the way to the airport Monday morning. I love that.
Yeah,
y'all were in
exactly.
the
That's awesome.
Conveniently located in the Heights.
there you go. Yeah, and y'all are fortunate that y'all get to.
I don't know if we can ask that. So
Well, see, that's sad.
before you finish your thought, I don't know how to. I don't know how to ask that on air without being
up there.
Weird.
Is what I was thinking in my head. That's why I had him repeat it. That's the whole specific reason.
And like
why.
you can punch me and knock me out of my chair
Okay,
while I'm
with
asking.
the Garrison, bro?
So the Garrison brothers, you were allowed to dip one of their 94 proof single barrels. You were allowed to dip it, and then you could actually. And I don't know how to put it.
You made a donation to.
And that's what I told Roy.
Okay.
I was like, I'm 95% sure you're making a donation to Cure Rare Disease.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just making a donation to Cure Rare Disease,
See,
and we're
and that's what I
rewarding you
thought.
with.
That's okay. That's why when I said
With
whoa,
part of the
repeat
swag.
that was the
For
Yeah.
your donation,
Specific
add
reason
this to
why.
your swag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
what I was.
It's a donation.
That was our conversation, but I was like, I don't know how to.
Same thing
That's
over-
why I said, whoa, whenever you started to talk, and then I saw the comment, like, I
Yeah.
want to make sure we're doing this.
Right.
The same thing with Brown Foreman when they were doing the engraving
Yeah,
down there.
the
It's
engraving.
like, hey, go make a donation to Cure Rare Disease.
Okay. I
You
just
know.
wanted to make sure we were all on the same page before
Okay.
somebody
Yeah.
said something we didn't need to
No.
say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That-
Okay.
That's why
cool.
I wanted the clarity because I'm
Right.
thinking in my mind. I'm
Because
like,
I saw your face a while ago whenever he was talking, and I was like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, and I figured that's what it was. I just didn't want to say anything on the legal side.
I'm
Yeah.
glad there's.
No,
I'm
hey,
glad there's clarity.
It's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Look.
Yeah, but I think the QR code, and I think you answered it very eloquently, and I think it's something to talk about moving forward. But that was probably the number one question I had leading up to and at the event. Like,
Yeah.
why or where or how or. And
Look,
I'm like, man, I really don't know.
Yeah, we're trying to bring new and unique things to this event, and we may be able to figure out a way to be able to do that more efficiently. But I've never been to another event where that was a function of that event.
That's exactly. I haven't either.
You know, so and I'm sure not to put words in other promoters' mouths, but I'm sure that's a lot of it is the legalities.
Oh,
of
I'm
it,
sure. Yeah,
you know.
especially here because, like you said, the liquor laws here are a little antiquated.
Yeah.
So I get that. I get that
Yeah.
for sure. And I love the fact that Jennifer's on point with it. She's like, there's literally a location on the way to the airport, so you can.
Right, and
Yeah.
and she's talking about in the Heights, but even
Yep.
Mont Bellevue or
Yeah.
you know, there's opportunities.
Hell, fly into Mid County for God's sakes. There's a bunch of locations in Mid County.
Yeah,
I mean,
And don't let my
and most of these people that are coming in, you know, they like Jake coming in from Alabama. Obviously, he came in a little early, so he got to enjoy going
Yes.
out to one of the Longhorn stores.
Yes.
But
Enjoy is an understatement.
If he would have come in on Saturday and he had to leave on Sunday, you know, most of these people know somebody down here. You know,
Oh,
have them
yeah.
go.
When
You
I
know,
made
procure those bottles for them,
And that's something I think most people would echo. I made it very, very clear to Jake before we knew what was going on with the QR code. I made it very clear to him, look, this is not your only trip to Texas. Go to Whiskey Fest. If they have the QR code, purchase whatever you want. You know me. I'm not going to sell your bottles or throw them away. When you come back to Texas, they're yours. They're ready to go.
yeah,
Like, I'll pick them up for you. I'm sure Mike would allow me to do that. And then I'll have them whenever you come back. And you're like, oh, well, that's perfect.
yeah.
So I think most people would be able to do something of that nature. We all have
Right.
family, friends, etc.
And for our vendors that participate, I mean, although we appreciate their support and they know, you know, we're never going to be able to get. I mean, there are ties to Longhorn Liquor, but this event is not about Longhorn Liquor. It's about
that's about Cure Rare Disease.
100%.
Well, it's about Cure Rare Disease, but it's also Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest, which is its own thing. If those people taste something at Whiskey Fest and they go back and they buy it from their local liquor stores, you're still supporting our vendors.
Right.
100%.
You know,
100%.
and at the end of the day, we're trying to prop everybody up in this thing. We're trying to give the customer or the attendee a unique experience, something they're not going to find anywhere else. I feel like we've done that. But we're trying to also build our vendors up. Awesome if we can sell those through Longhorn Liquor.
Obviously.
But if you try something at Whiskey Fest that you really enjoy, please, I don't go out and get it.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Support that brand so they can
Right.
keep making the whiskey that you love.
Yeah, and that was kind of something I thought about as I had an opportunity to kind of step away. I was like, man, I really hate that the QR code thing keeps getting brought up, and I don't want it to detract from the event for what it is. Like, that's the biggest thing, is when you go out there and you actually see the bottles that are available for tasting at Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like, enjoy the event for what you just walked into.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's really cool that y'all did that year one, and it's going to keep getting brought up. It's always going to be a question.
Yeah.
It will always be one. But
And I'll always have an answer.
no, I'm damn sure you will.
He's always going to have
Michael
an answer.
Wright.
Yeah.
But that's what, and I was thinking about that. Like, enjoy that event for what it is. Like, you won't see, I promise you, you won't see bottles like you'll see out at Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest at most whiskey festivals that you go
Right.
to.
Yeah.
You're getting an
I agree.
opportunity to taste and see and try things and talk to people that 95% of the time you aren't going to get to do.
You have Brown Foreman, the biggest of the biggest
Yeah.
in the world.
Right.
And then you have Ghostwood.
Yeah, right. Texas Tell.
Right, Texas Tell. Like,
When you come in from
Yeah.
Illinois, Denver, whatever, you're getting an opportunity to try something hyper local like Texas Tell out of Galveston, Texas.
Yeah.
That I promise you, nobody else in your state has ever tried.
yeah.
Right.
Hell, coming in from Houston, you may not even know who Texas Tell is, and it's
May
right down
not.
the road.
May not.
Giant, Texas, in Houston.
Yep.
Yeah. William
Yeah.
Price.
Yep.
William Price. You can
Yeah.
talk about the hyper local ones like that, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I had a pour of Heaven Hill 20. I had a pour of Laguna Madre. I had pours that night that I promise you I may never get another pour of it.
Friday
the rest
night,
of
y'all had to
Okay, well,
gotten
I'm
to
not-
try a Pappy or something, huh?
Well, was it-
Actually, no.
He didn't. I'm not saying I didn't, but I wasn't gonna. So I'm trying to exclude Friday night. Like, not everybody's gonna get that opportunity. Yes, I had a pour of Pappy
Yeah,
Tony.
but a lot of those same bottles were being
I had a
poured
pour of
Saturday.
Parker Heritage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yes, Friday night I enjoyed some things that not everybody is going to get a chance to pour. It was my first ever pour of Pappy, and as a tater, I am happy to say it was good. It was good. I mean, it was good. It was good.
It's good.
It was good.
It's good. But at the end of the
internet
day,
just blew its mind when you said that.
you know.
Right, like I'm sure
Okay,
everybody expects.
okay,
I'm sure
let's-
everybody expected me to
let's
go.
have
Oh my
an
god,
honest, like,
I got a
just be
boner as soon as I
completely
tried it.
honest.
Okay.
I didn't.
Pappy
It's good.
or Old Forester barrel strength,
Old Forester.
like the Longhorn pit.
Well, to me, it's got to be the Longhorn pick
He's
because I've
never
never
had-
had Pappy.
Yeah,
And I
So-
didn't partake in it Friday night.
yeah.
Okay, but and I'm no, here you go. Pappy, because Pappy's a weeded bourbon,
Okay.
or Garrison Brothers, especially any of y'all single barrel picks. I will go with Garrison Brothers all day long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
It is a far superior weeded bourbon product. Garrison Brothers. Okay, throw the small batch in. I'll take Garrison Brothers small batch over Pappy Van Winkle any day of the week.
Yeah.
Now that I've tried it, I can say that with a smile on my face and not be lying about it.
Yeah. And the
Sorry,
point of
not
that
sorry.
is not to trash Pappy is
No,
a great
God, no. It was
Kentucky
good.
bourbon.
It was good.
Just we got to remove the hype out of some of this and just take it for what it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Take the Texas bias out of it. Holiday soft red wheat,
oh yeah.
I would take over a Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah. Out of Missouri.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great bottle. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So
But I mean, then that kind of, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trashing it. I'm a tater. I would love a bottle on my shelf.
well, I've got one in my van if you want it.
But it, this motherfucker. Okay.
JK.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. It was good. I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah.
But like the other pours that I had were great.
Yeah.
Like I'll never get a chance to try those again.
Yeah.
Maybe. But or I'll never have a bottle, but I got to say I tried it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And that's part of what it's about, especially.
But you don't have to be there Friday night. You can do that on Saturday.
You can
That
do
was
that
what
on
I was
Saturday
trying to
as well.
say
Right.
before you decided to throw in the Friday night pours.
Yeah.
But you get that opportunity on Saturday because the Longhorn booth is amazing.
Here's what I'll say for everybody. If you're like me, and I usually gravitate to the Texas Tells of the world and the Balcones and the Andalusias, or you're into the super allocated stuff, there's something for everybody at that event, no doubt.
Yeah.
That looks like most of the listeners agree.
Like everybody agrees.
Yeah, so I mean, so there you go.
Yeah,
everybody agrees. I wasn't out of line, and I'm happy I tried it.
Yeah,
I think everybody should. If you're along this journey, you've heard the story of Pappy, you've seen documentaries, you whatever. I think everybody needs to try it.
Yeah,
but
I like, and I hope I'm reiterating this point that it looks like Distillery Review is making.
Yes.
We had Pappy on Saturday. That's a fourth the cost of VIP if you go to a bar.
It really is. I mean,
It is like for people that were first in line on Saturday. Even I'm sure there was an old Rip 10 or 12 that was being poured over there. Like he's right. Like the price of the general admission ticket, you would pay that for a pour.
Yeah, at least, if not more.
That single pour at the bar. So
this one's really good, by the way. Thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, so this is what Bucky's referencing there. That's batch 2 from the year 2015 from Booker's. I think it's called Dots Batch.
Yes, Dots Batch.
Dots Batch. So 2015 was they did 6 releases that year, and so I ended up with an entire set of those releases.
Really?
And so I've slowly opened them.
We had a tragic accident, though. The cork of
the
broken.
Yeah. So when I
opened in the bottom of the box,
I opened that bottle several weeks back, and like a dumbass. I mean, I know it's been sitting up on my shelf forever, and I went to go pull the cork out without re-wetting it, and it broke in half, and so I kind of had it halfway, haphazardly sitting inside that bottle, and at some point on my trip over this evening to y'all's humble abode, it came out, and if anybody wants to lick the inside of my backpack,
it smelled great when you picked your backpack up. It was just like, oh
yeah.
All right, so I don't know if anybody else is just like dying to go home, but is there anything you'd like to say? So I want to. Here's my thought process, and I don't know if you got a chance to try it or if you've tried it to date. A couple weeks ago, we did a review of Traveler whiskey. So if y'all want to stay tuned, I want to revisit that bottle, and I brought a couple things that I want to. I've heard some people talk, but before we dive into that, is there anything you'd like to say to kind of put a bow on 2024 Southeast Texas Whiskey Fest?
Man, I appreciate this event is not possible without support from every direction, and the platform that you guys have here and the listener base, like every single one of these people in the chat tonight was at Whiskey Fest. Please continue to support that event. It is for a great cause. I feel like we're trying to put on one of the best damn events in the entire country. And so I thank everybody, whether it's Jennifer or any of our Megan, any other supplier, Jeff Durant that was in here earlier, any of the suppliers that were in chat tonight. Thank y'all so much from the bottom of our heart. But thank you so much to the attendees, because as we talked earlier, to walk in and nobody show up to the event, that would be not a very cool moment.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can sell VVIP
Very
tickets for backpack licking.
Backpack licking.
Apparently.
Available next year at
Yes.
Whiskey Fest 2025.
Lick Mike Wright's back.
Yeah, backpack looking is VVIP. I like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
What?
And thank you. And thank Mike. And
Oh,
Dennis
for sure,
and
yes.
everybody.
Thank you for the hospitality that you showed us.
Real quick. Yes, absolutely.
Well earned. I mean, from
but
y'all.
I'll say this. obviously I want it to be from us. Like, and we want, selfishly, we'd love to be there, exclusive, all that good stuff. But you got to shout out the guys like Big Chief with the Whiskey Trip. Y'all's interview was outstanding. We shouted it out before during the pregame show. Give it a listen. That was great leading up to that. The guys over at Distillery Reviews, they did an awesome write-up. I don't know if you had an opportunity to read their write-up for 2023. The year one, they did a real big, good write-up leading up to this year's. They've been awesome. They've been great to deal with, talk to.
For sure.
So it's not just us. Like, as selfish as we could want to be, there's a million other people that are doing great things.
Oh, for sure.
And I love that we all can hang out, work together, talk. You know, we want the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not afraid to shout those guys out. Like,
no, they're.
Roy, you can punch me after the show if I need to stop talking about those other guys. But like, I think it's awesome that they're all so cool and like
they're. Why would I do that?
They're wanting to talk about it. They're wanting to promote it, and that's great. And I want that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And real quick, I want to shout out, and I don't know the exact people that it was. So on December 28th, Big Chief on the Whiskey Trip posted on his Instagram that he wanted to raise as much money as possible for cure rare disease. Mm-hmm. So I turned around and was like, all right, I'll raise you, and I want to raise as much money as possible on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know who they are because it doesn't tell me that information, but there were 5 functional friends that donated to cure rare disease off of our Facebook.
Right.
It's not much. It's not $400,000, but we raised $221 for cure rare disease. So thank you to all 5 people that donated.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Much appreciated.
Every little bit, like when, and this is a perfect segue into what we do in the stores with the roundup. We talked about it earlier, but you know, it may be 19 cents or 21 cents or something here at a time, but all that adds up to this incredible amount that all goes back into the same cause.
Yeah.
Buxton's, you know, they
I remember
switched their roundup at their Needland location to cure rare disease for a couple months, and was able to raise an additional. I think it was the number came out to a little bit over $1,400.
Nice,
you know, and so it takes, if everybody just did a little bit, you know, it all adds up to a massive big picture.
Oh, for sure.
And so,
oh goodness. All right.
Do I even want to know what the hell you're doing? Probably not.
So I thought it was funny.
What are you doing?
I've listened to a couple different people talk about Traveler whiskey now that it's available nationwide, and I want to do something.
Did you remind all of them that I think we were the first?
I'm still convinced we were the first.
Yeah.
So everybody is saying that because it's a blended whiskey, this is now a competitor to the one that we all know and love as Crown Royal.
Oh.
So I'm curious,
God, no.
how it compares to Crown Royal. But
I hate Canadian.
Have you had an opportunity to try it yet?
Yeah, I tried it on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did the week after. Yeah.
Dumbass.
Anyways, so everybody's saying, it's supposed to be a competitor to Crown Royal. I don't know about that. So, but because it only says blended whiskey, they're saying, well, we don't know what's in it. Is it supposed to like compete with Canadian whiskey? So, if you didn't know, Buffalo Trace, Sazerac,
blame Canada.
They also, they don't do Crown Royal, but they do Seagram's VO.
Well, of course.
And Rich and Rare.
Of course, yep.
Which are both Canadian whiskeys.
No joke. You don't say.
So if it's supposed to be a Crown Royal competitor, how close is it to all of this? Because I never thought about it being, because Canadian whiskey is always, okay, not always, most of the time a blended whiskey. So is Canadian whiskey a competitor, or is it better than Canadian whiskey?
I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Harlan Wheatley in advance because I feel like you're screwing something up.
No, I'm not. We didn't say it. There were multiple people online and on podcasts that were saying, oh, well, it just says blended whiskey, so Crown Royal is it.
I don't think it's Crown Royal, first of all. I think, if anything, one of our viewers, or actually one of our friends, nailed it pretty much on the head. To me, if it's anything, it's a combination of Buffalo Trace and Barton 1792.
So I was curious.
Of course you are.
I mean, I had to know, right?
All I will say is if it was a blend of Buffalo Trace and 1792, it would say a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys.
Right. It just says blended whiskey.
Yeah.
What goes into that bottle, I have no idea.
And there were a couple people that commented on our YouTube post
I saw that.
that said it's a blend of E.H. Taylor's, and I said, "Well, what are your references? What are your references? What are you saying?" And there was just another person. Oh, it's true. No, you're not giving me references.
Yeah.
Like I am genuinely curious.
Well, I'm sure the truth behind the collaboration of this bottle is probably a pretty tight-knit secret.
Oh, it'll never come out. Nobody will ever know.
It's going to come out.
So what I would encourage anybody that is interested in the Traveler is buy a bottle and try it for yourself and see if you like it.
The website's up, by the way.
Good.
Okay.
Because it wasn't whenever we did our review.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
No, and I 100% agree. If you're a Chris Stapleton fan, go buy a bottle.
Yeah.
If you're a Buffalo Trace fan, go buy a bottle.
What I like is a lot of, like, when you're talking about Crown, and let's get into the cheaper blended whiskeys, like, say, maybe McCormick, you almost always are going to find those at 40% alcohol by volume, like 80 proof. This does have 90 proof on it. I think you could tell by the color. It's got a little bit more color to it than what you would see from a...
It's hard to... I didn't pour very
What's in the right one?
So this is Crown. This is Crown. This is Traveler.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
They're fairly close. So I'll be the first to admit, I think we've all had Crown Royal, but we've all drank it like Crown and Coke or Vegas Bombs.
Yes,
or
I've never sipped on Crown.
I was going to say, this will be the first time I have ever tried Crown Royal neat out of a Glencairn.
Ugh.
Never once before.
I wish we were doing this blind right now.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I ain't gonna lie, that would be pretty funny.
So there's nothing on the nose. Like, there's nothing there. This is definitely more prominent on the nose.
And which one's which?
Crown.
Okay.
Smile and nod.
Yeah. You like it?
So good.
Yeah.
I think we need to do a full review on that, Roy.
Crown?
We have the 23-year Crown Apple.
Okay, why? Not why do y'all have it? Why did Crown do a 23-year-old apple?
Yeah, that's
my
crazy.
question.
Yeah.
All right, Crown's out. I don't know what to do with
So
this.
you giving it to the Traveler?
I don't know what to do with this, he said.
Crown's out. Crown has, okay, there was no nose, and there's nothing on the palate.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is Rich and Rare Reserve
Okay.
Canadian whiskey, a blend, 80 proof.
I think you've maybe already sealed this argument with the Crown
I think so,
versus
too.
a Traveler. I think you're just going to lesser version of Crown now.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like, and not once did we ever say there was anything wrong with it on our original. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's got, you can find flavor profiles there. There's a nose on it. There's body there. I was just kind of curious because everybody said, well, it just says
body.
it's just blended whiskey. And Sazerac has a Canadian profile. Like, they offer Canadian whiskeys.
Sure.
One of which is Rich and Rare Reserve. They offer Seagram's VO. They have the Caribou Crossing single barrel. So, of course, that was the first thing, like,
Seagram 7, baby.
flashing lights go off. Oh my God, it just says blended whiskey, and Sazerac has Canadian whiskey. So they're using GNS, grain neutral spirits, and Canadian whiskey to make this cheap product.
We may get an answer. We may not.
Did you just text Harlan Wheatley?
Chris Stapleton, actually.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. I fully expect an answer at 10:34, 11:34 his time.
Well, he may still be up. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, he is a traveler.
He is a traveler.
It smells like pine cone.
Have you ever had Rich and Rare straight? Have you ever had it up?
God, no. I've never had Rich and Rare.
Oh, God.
Like, I would...
I'm going to sit back and watch this.
Huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need some notes.
Yeah, very much. I need a full tasting profile on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it not rich and rare? Is it poor and plentiful?
Water.
Water.
I taste H2O. Is that hydrogen?
Or is it oxygen?
A hint of oxygen.
Yeah.
Two parts hydrogen.
Very, very light. I mean, it's water. Maybe some pine cone.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Of course.
Oh, dried. It was dried? It like on the palate?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Slowly creeping to 1,000.
Yeah, I'll take Traveler all day long.
Of course.
So, Bucky has chose Traveler over Crown Royal and Rich and Rare.
Oh, what's next? There's Seekers View.
All right, next.
Go ahead.
We got Traveler against McCormick.
I mean, I just thought it was weird that people were throwing out Canadian whiskeys because Canadians are always blended whiskey.
I can tell you right now, this may be a blended whiskey. I don't think it's Canadian. Just don't.
Am I going to say there's zero Canadian in it?
So
I can't say that 100% because we don't know.
Like, I'm glad that y'all brought this conversation up because the Traveler came out, whatever. You know, but it does lead to a point that I think Bucky's kind of maybe trying to make, which is the term blended whiskey leaves a lot to be interpreted.
Right.
Very much.
Okay.
Because that was my biggest question mark. And like, I'll let you continue. That was my biggest question mark was nowhere on the bottle does it say distilled by Buffalo Trace, distilled by Sazerac. It just says blended and bottled by Buffalo Trace.
Right. Yeah. But there's supposed to be a state of distillation if it's different from the bottling state. So the fact that it doesn't say distilled by makes me believe that whatever they are blending is being made in Kentucky.
Okay. I like your assessment there.
I mean, it's why this says distilled in Indiana.
Correct.
It's legality.
Right.
You know, so the fact that it doesn't give a distillation state, you know, doesn't mean it's. I have no clue what's going into it. But you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, if people like it, buy it. But you know, I had it on with y'all last time I was on. I think y'all, you know, Roy had just procured that bottle, and you know, it was not offensive to me. I remember that.
No,
not at all.
It's not offensive at all.
Yeah, and so
and that's what I told everybody that I ran into at Southeast Texas. And they're like, "Hey, we saw the Traveler thing. Is it really as good as what you said it was?" And I was like, "To me, it's a smooth, everyday sipper is what it is. $31.99.
Here's
yes
with the.
It's a good bottle.
Yeah,
to have
I enjoyed it.
and it's a good.
Yeah.
It's a great.
And let's face
may
it,
like Chris Stapleton.
I'm trying to find
Never
it.
tried.
of the Whiskey Fest attendees are, but at the end of and
Not wrong.
So
It's
if
still